too early, but that's okay. My gym workout was phenomenal. Before I went home, I decided to stop over at my mother's house. I haven't seen my mother in 2 months. I know she's going to be very surprised to see me. I can't wait. What the? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The first thing I noticed was this person's skin. What is going on? Uncomplicated, untreated skin? Who is this guy? I had to take a step back, but then I realized it was my brother. But look at his skin. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? I had to take a closer look and figure out what was going on. Best believe I crept up on him. Peep this. I'm still looking at his skin, trying to figure out how did we get here. I could do nothing but shake my head. He could definitely use my help. I had to get to the bottom of this. He definitely needed some game about his skin. I'm just staring at it, like looking at it. Come on, bro. I knew what to do. I had to reach in my bag and get that Teach Hanley. Uncomplicated skincare for men. Bro, this is why I'm excited to have Teach Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They have helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and the grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated throughout the night. My brother was so excited. My favorite part about Teach Hanley is that every box comes with instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. Shout out to Teach Hanley. And because Teach Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description, and not only will you get Teach Hanley for the best possible price, but they'll also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link and get started today for just $30. Feel the Teach. Let the Teach force be with you.
To the Teach family, it's go time. Going on, family? Welcome to King Talk. I'm introduce the crew. We got Ricky Williams, Trill Lake Seafood Crew Season, Humble Dad, Shannon Rawls, King Rio, Mr. Let Go, me, myself, and Lapeef JR. Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Solid, bro.
What's happening?
Everything's good. What's up? What's good, everybody?
Can't complain. What's today, Tuesday? Like the week is going by pretty fast. It's almost Christmas time, right? You guys done with shopping?
Y'all still celebrate Christmas?
Man, I'm just I don't know. When you say celebrate, what do you mean by celebrate?
I have celebrate Christmas. Like I don't really, it's not like it used to be, but I have celebrated.
You said you have celebrate or you have?
Half. I don't do it fully, tree and all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
HALF.
Yeah, but that's still celebrating, though. But that's still celebrating.
I was done shopping for Christmas in January.
What about you, Trill? Like, are you half celebrating Christmas as well?
Nah, I got young kids half celebrating is out. So am I done buying gifts? No.
Yeah.
But I'll be done in a couple of days.
Okay. Are you guys shopping on Amazon, or are you still trying to look for a Toys R Us?
Yeah, it's Amazon, nothing at all, man. Ain't got time to be running around no damn stores.
Man, they make shit so much easier at Amazon, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good business, man. Everybody focus on the stocks. They need to be trying to get you a truck and go out there and start moving some packages.
Yeah, it's a fact. Boys out there getting to that bag, man.
Definitely is.
Low key-ish.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you gentlemen again. I know we got Eric.
He fell off, so he'll probably be back on, and I'll introduce him when he come on. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley. Uncomplicated skincare for men. Make sure you guys click that link, get 30% off along with a free gift. That is your only way to get the opportunity to get the percentage as well as the free gift. See what we got in the chat. We got Nathaniel Downs, Green Gang, Treese. See Kelly Convo's in the chat. Sir Shy, 87 already came through. So let's be real. Kelsley, look better. And Meg, Snake there. I know you guys seen it on the thumbnail. I mean, if y'all want to get into that, I don't really think we got to. I don't know if y'all following the story or not. You know, if y'all want to go.
Yeah, I've been following a little bit.
A little bit. You just been half doing shit all day, huh? Been half following the stories, half celebrating Christmas. What was it, last week you was spitting on folks? All type of surprises, Mr. Let Go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was surprised about the y'all not knowing about that part. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
Which part you talking about?
Huh?
I said, which part you talking about?
The spitting part. I was like, damn, that's kind of sad. Like, I was the only person who knew about that. Men and women. I was like, God, that's kind of sad.
Okay. I see the gentleman on the panel is pretty quiet on that one, man. I think you're on your own with that, Mr. Let Go. You know,
well, they probably don't know. They probably don't know what I'm talking about.
I think they do. Well, you want to enlighten the panel?
Oh, okay. I just didn't want, because I didn't want to mess your algorithm up. So what I was talking about Thursday, I don't know how I got to that, but you know, Thursday be crazy. But we were talking about, well, I was talking about how I was spitting a woman's mouth during sex.
Oh, I didn't know he was going there.
What do you? I kept not wanting to say something. I'm so confused.
Nah, we're gonna go ahead and move on.
I was trying to.
Yeah. Rick can put his head down a little bit. Let's go ahead and move on, man. It's like it's getting too serious. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You gentlemen ready? Y'all good? Yeah. I got y'all serious faces on. I guess y'all to find Mr. Let Go. Antics funny, huh? Not at all. Okay, he on his own on that. Okay, I got you. All right, our first topic of the night. Is living with your parents. I came across this post I thought was quite interesting because it's kind of breaking down the difference between certain cultures and how they do it versus how Black folks do it. But it says Black people, the only people who think there's something wrong with living with your parents. That's why other nationalities, the whole house got 800 credit scores, no debt, drive Benzes, and got thousands in the bank. And there was a reply that said some Black people make it hard for their kids to stay. Thousands of questions daily, pocket watching, rent them out, constantly increasing, etc. Sometimes you have to choose peace. So I want to get you guys' thoughts about that. You think we got it all wrong? You think that we should be doing it better as a community?
Yeah, I do. In most general cases, you shouldn't put your kids out in the world till they're ready. You know what I mean? I mean that emotionally, you know, financially, learned, secure. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's our egos. It's our egos, right? And we don't understand the way we grow up and putting impressions on our children, right? Then they grow up and, you know, they think the way they do and act the way they act. Also, not with just you, but the world out there, you know, putting their input in them too, right? A lot of us, we look at our kids as competition, right? I think you should, again, as long as your child is being productive in the house and working towards a goal, I honestly believe they should stay until they're ready. And I ain't gonna even say when they're ready, when you believe they're ready. So that's my take on it.
Okay.
I agree because I had no problem with my kids living with me. They had their own apartments and all the other stuff. And my daughter lived with me at one point. Didn't have to pay no bills. Everything's great. But of course, she wanted to be herself and run around, be independent or whatever. So she ends up moving out. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And right now, I'm looking to get something like a 7-bedroom house and have all of us live in the same house. So that's kind of like crazy how y'all brought that up, because I was just talking to my ex-wife about that. Not saying I'm gonna move her in, but when we talk about family stuff, we talk about stuff as a family. So I was telling her there's a possibility that I may get a 7-bedroom house so everybody can have their own space and live in the same house together. Kids, not her.
Yeah, I was just having this conversation with my kinfolk that just came over about like the one way that we need to close the gap is, being in the same household, and so of course other cultures do it. I mean, however, it makes sense. I mean, if you're going to send your kid out and they make all of these decisions that we know that they're not ready for, and then we blame them for them not making the correct decisions. I think that's on us. You never want to push a person out when they're not ready. Now, if they're not abiding by the rules, then that's a different story for me. Like if they cannot, like she said, parents make it hard. Well, yes, it's going to be hard in my household because it's still my household. You're not just going to be able to do whatever you want to do just because you've grown. You know what I'm saying? There are going to be some type of stipulations because you're not going to be disrespectful to me or whatever, a mom or whoever is here. So, however, I think that would be best because I'll tell you this guy that I know, him and his wife, they have his son living with him, and he's been able to stack his bread and be able to buy him a house and be ready for his family because he was able to stay. And I think he didn't leave till like he was maybe like 30, 31, and now he's ready with his family. And it's harder. Everybody knows it's harder to do things and build things by yourself. And so and everybody knows that you need some help. And so I know for me, I'm gonna have my kids stay with me until I feel like they're ready to move on.
Yeah, that might. I guess you got to be real careful about when that time is. I think as parents, there's a lot of parents that didn't do the teaching at an early age. So once you get to that midpoint and on, it's like like what do you do at that point? Because by that time they've already set a groove into how they're gonna be as an adult already, and you can just hope for the best at that point. So I think one of the messages we should be putting out there for new parents or parents that have toddlers under the age of 5 is making sure that we correct whatever behavior that we were brought up, well, at least some of us, because some parents did it right, but other parents are still not getting it right. So I think that we should definitely be preaching the message of teaching kids under the age of 5 and trying to teach them to be better than how we were. If our parents didn't do it, then it's up to us to make sure that we be able to provide an environment that encourages growth at an early age. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I think part of the reason is that, especially us as a community, we don't have kids intentionally. I think is a great way to put that. A lot of our kids come on accident. So when that's the case, there's kind of a rush for me to do my duty and get your ass up out my house. Lord God, I can't wait. Graduation coming. Whoo, get these kids out of here. Because it done been that type of mindset throughout the whole, having of the child and raising the child, because you was never prepared to have a child. Other cultures, they intentionally have kids. Hey, let's get married. I see myself having 3 kids. We where we need to be. Okay, let's start having them. Let's try to get pregnant. You don't really hear black couples and black families saying, hey, let's try to get pregnant. That's not it's just like, oh shit, oops, I'm pregnant. Now let's scramble and do what we got to do to take care of the child. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes with that being the case, we don't prepare the child for the world the way that they should be. We're going to be honest. A lot of us don't even have that outside knowledge too. I say all the time, I'm the first in my family to go to college and graduate. So what that means is that once I left the house, I had to learn everything on my own in terms of that world. I didn't have no parent to sit me down and say, hey, this is how, interest works on these school loans. Hey, well, when you're in school, it would be best for you to get a job because when you get out, the interest rate on those loans, 7.6, 5.8, whatever, and they, flexible.
Incurring.
And current, flexible, things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? So, we have people that say, hey, man, you go to get to college, man, you get a refund check, man. Y'all better go get that refund check. So, again, a lot of the kids coming from a black community is not prepared to be in the world. So I think as parents, we got to do a better job, of preparing them for that. And that's going to start with us actually going out there and living the right way, not check to check, not, robbing Peter to pay Paul, not none of that shit, but going out there and actually accomplishing things and setting a legitimate guideline for our kids to follow. And that way we can teach them in that way and they'll be better prepared. But if we don't, then we're going to just keep scrambling the same way we always been and pushing our kids out into the world before they ready to be there so we could go get the years back that they took from us. I just leave that there.
And I want to say this because this could help the parents who have young kids. My oldest daughter said, "Daddy, you never taught us about credit." And I'm like, I did. There was this guy, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of him. His name was Clark Howard. And he was on a radio like literally every day talking about credit and all that stuff. And I used to drive trucks a long time ago, and I listened to him every day. And I would turn my kids on to him, like, listen to this guy, listen to this guy, listen to this guy. And of course, they don't want to listen. So I'm like, I thought they were listening, put the little headphones on and listen. They weren't listening, never listened to the guy. And I was like, so all this time, y'all weren't listening to this guy because I kept telling them. They was like, no. I said, well, I tried to teach y'all. But if I didn't know they weren't learning about credit through him, because he knew more about me back then. I didn't know much about credit back when I was younger. I would have to communicate with your kids and find out what they actually, because what she said was, this dude, they wouldn't learn from me, but I was learning from the dude, and I could have taught them what he was teaching me, but I didn't know they were not learning from him. So out of miscommunication, I had to start while they was older to teaching them about credit instead of when they were younger.
What are your thoughts about it, King and Shan? Shan, did you see the video?
No, I'll sit out on this one.
All right. I mean, starting already, Shan.
Say again?
It's starting already. Gonna find you in the chat, huh?
Nah, I'm not in the chat. Mr. Lego, did you? So, do you ultimately take responsibility for not teaching your children the credit? Ultimately,
of course.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, I thought I was doing the right thing by giving them an asset that I was utilizing at the time.
But you never quizzed. You never got feedback from them. You hit the play button and you were over there learning and taking notes yourself. And then you just you never say, "Hey, what do you think about that?" in the back seat
you are
or
right.
wherever they listen to it. You never said, you never said, "Hey, did you hear what he said? Let's play that back." You didn't even do you did no follow up. You did no follow up, no feedback. So
I did follow up, and I would ask them, did they listen? They'll lie. They was lying and say they'll listen because they didn't want to listen. So, but I did not quiz them though. So you're right about that.
Right.
I could have sat them down and start quizzing them about how to do this and how to do that or whatever. But I was steady just in my own world trying to figure this stuff out
you was
myself.
learning too, right?
Because I was learning too. Right. So it was like, and when I was learning, it was when I was in the truck driving, I'm at work or whatever. So I'm listening and stuff. So I'm telling my kids to listen or whatever. So I'm thinking we listen to the same thing, and I'm in my own world. So you get home, you talk about other stuff, but you're right. I could have sat down and quizzed them. All right, so let's talk about what he said yesterday. Then I would have been like, oh, so y'all didn't listen. And then I would have been able to nip in the butt. So 1,000%, you're right.
Just to add on to that, to add on that to what you're saying, when you're doing that, don't give them answers. One of the things that you want to do is ask them, what's your takeaway, or what is it that you got from it? I do that with my kids when we do Bible study, and you'll be able to find out what it is where their holes are, or if they actually were paying attention. So don't give them the answers.
All right, go ahead, Rio.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, until you achieve financial stability and adequate life skills, I think, honestly, that's a no-brainer. Unfortunately, it's not so popular in our culture. I think, one, because I don't know if we always have healthy relationships with our parents. So sometimes it's like your sanity, their sanity. Let's just part ways when I'm of age, and we can have a better relationship from a distance. Unfortunately, I think that's just the way it is in a lot of cases. How do we fix that? I don't know, but that's just the reality. And also, just to take it a step further, I think, I mean, just, I don't know, promoting that mindset. You know, man, it's like it's an issue if you stay at your parents' house too long. You know, in the dating world and in your sphere, you know, what's wrong with you? Why are you still at home? You know, kind of thing. So I think just changing our mindset as a whole, you know, and developing some comfortability and understanding of why we're doing it, and not that we're a bum that can't get off a PlayStation, you know, but we actually have a goal in mind and something that we want to achieve. So,
well, kind of like what Shannon just said, it has to be a system involved while you staying at home. You know, like, what are we doing? Like, don't just let your kids just live there. Like, quiz them, find out what they're doing, and sit back and say, okay, so what's the plan? Like, where are you doing? What are you doing? Is it college? Is it YouTube videos? Like, what do you want to do with your life? Give something a try, because you don't know, but try something, whatever, because if you fall on your butt, you at home or whatever. So go get in investments, crypto, whatever. Go do something. Go do something stupid, you know, because Gary V always said, when you're like in your 20s, that's when it's time to go do stupid shit. You know, go take all the money you own and put it in crypto and just sit on it, see what happens. Go travel, go do something that, you know, you might lose out on, like lose money or whatever, because you're so young, you'll be able to get it right back. So go do some stupid shit, you know, not go to jail, but go do some stupid shit. Take risks, because you're so young, especially if you stay with your parents, you ain't got nothing to lose. You know, don't wait until you go out, have kids and all the other stuff. Now it's hard for you to take risk. So yeah, but it has to be some type of system. You can't just be sitting at my house, living in my house. Go take some risks. This is an opportunity. Go do something that you could turn around and lose everything on. Go buy some real estate. And if it something, go try to flip a house. I don't care. Just do something. Because the worst case scenario, you ain't got to pay no bills. So it ain't going to blow up in your face.
Go ahead, Humble Dad. You was about to say something?
I was just saying, would you say that that's for the girls and the boys? The reason why I asked is because I'm remembering when Shaq was being interviewed, he said that his girls can stay as long as they want to, but the sons got to get out immediately when they turn 18. What's your thoughts on it? Like, would you let your sons and your daughters stay, or just your girls?
I got daughters, so I don't know. I would have, of course, more fire up under my sons' butts to actually go do something. But I don't know if I would just, I'm not going to kick nobody out, but it'd be like, what do you want to do? You know, and if I had a lazy ass son and he's just like, I don't want to do nothing. He just want to sit around and play video games and stuff. That would be an issue, you know? And I wouldn't put him out, but there would had to be some conversations, because he's a man. So it is a difference, but I got daughters, so I never had to deal with that.
I guess I'm gonna go ahead and answer this. That's a great question as far as with the daughters, because I don't think you want to put the daughters out. So I have one daughter, and I wouldn't put her out on the street for her just to live. But my son, I do have a 17-year-old son, and he's at that point. He's a senior, and I'm at his ass like, what are you gonna do? Because you're not gonna sit your ass up in his house and not do nothing. So the plan is for him to be able to go to college, but I'm trying to create a way for him to be able to have a scholarship, something to be able to provide the opportunity to get the experience. I'm not going to force him to go to college, but I would like for him to go to college, but not to go to college and get in debt. Just like Trill, I was one of the first people in my family to go to college. So when I went, I didn't know nothing. I was one of those people that was I was looking forward to the refund checks. Didn't even really realize how that shit would bite me on the ass on the back end.
All I was concerned about was getting a check, because the minute you move off campus, then you got to check for the room and board. And so I would take those checks and I would jag them. I was going and getting computer monitors up off of my school credit, and I was reselling them just so I can get the cash. So I was doing all type of stupid shit. I had no idea. Now I'm stuck with this damn loan. It's not a huge loan. It's not compared to some of the other people's loans that they got to pay back. I'm like, damn, like shit, I wouldn't even have went to school. I wouldn't even have went to grad school. You're paying that much and you ain't making no money. So, but my son, he got to do something. He can't sit his ass up in the crib and thinking he's just ain't gonna do shit.
What about YouTube? YouTube videos? Nothing? No?
I'm not against it, but you have to be doing something. You know, like I've mentioned it to him right now. He has that mentality where I ain't gonna even say all that shit, man. But he just got to get on the right page.
I think it'd be dope if he came up on King Talk or whatever and talked like as your son, just as an example. You know what I'm saying? And speaking from a millennial's perspective on all the other stuff, just as an example. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, like I've extended an opportunity and tried to show him the way as far as with that, but he think that shit is corny. But it might be a great idea. Maybe I might bring him up here to see how he do. You know, put his ass to the fire, man. But you can't be talking all that spitting on shit, man. When he come up we gotta have a different type of conversation, man. But I yeah, I mean, I try to tell it because he see what I do and he see how I do it, man. But it's just they had that lazy mentality. They want the easy way. Like they don't want to work. I won't say they, but my son in particular needs to get with the program and understand you're gonna have to work to do this shit, man. Like ain't nothing in life easy. And that's what I try to tell him. But you got to at least start. But come May, June, whenever he graduate, if you ain't doing nothing productive, man, I'm about to kick his ass out.
Man, get that man on YouTube, show him some of these YouTube checks, and get him in front of some books, like whatever it is he want to learn how to do, and start getting on YouTube and just doing something. Imagine getting on YouTube at the age of 17. And now we at the age we at now. That's guaranteed 1 million subscribers at least.
Like I say, some kids are actually motivated and they go out and do it. You got some kids that's aware of it, but they don't want to do the work. They want the ease. They want shit just to come where they want you to be able to provide the opportunity for them. And it's like, I'm gonna do everything that I can do in order to make sure you graduate. I'm gonna support everything that's positive. But come May or June, if you don't have no plan figured out, and I'm gonna still continue to try to. It's not like I'm just gonna cut them off completely, but at that point, you got some decisions to make, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because if you think you're gonna lay your ass up in here all fucking day, it ain't gonna happen.
I gotta say, I mean, even without having a child, well, he's not a child; he's a young man. You know, without having one that age, I could say that if you don't feel like he's being productive, I could see how that might frustrate you over time. You know what I mean? Kind of seeing him waste time, so to speak, you know? And so that's where we start to make it uncomfortable. Like, you're not about to just sit around here and walk from the couch to the refrigerator all day long. What you do today? You know what I mean? What you working on? You know what I mean? So it may become uncomfortable for them the longer they stay in the nest if they aren't doing what we believe to be productive.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Don't kick him out.
Yeah, man, I give him about 3 years. Daughter and son. Yeah, I ain't gonna raise them no differently, because my daughter should have a will to be prospering in life as well. I don't want her sitting around waiting on no man to come save her. I mean, I don't know if y'all looked around lately, but a lot of men are not really worthy of wearing that type of cape. So in that aspect, I need you to be working towards something. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like 4 years tops, which would be the time that you would typically be going to the service, or you would be typically going to school. And by the time that's over with, you should be either like hella deep in something that you're trying to get into, or you should be locked in on what it is that you want to get into. And now you can go chase it. But all of that sitting in the crib for 10 years and no. I mean, it's just not productive. I don't believe in enabling mediocrity. Now, if you sit in the crib and you working towards something like, say, law degree, doctorate, something that takes some extensive amount of time, then okay, that's a different conversation. But you're not gonna be in my house 8 to 10 years, and I'm asking you, hey, what's going on? Well, I'm thinking. No. You can think about some shit outside, because sometimes, which is the thing about certain people, some people just wired differently. Some people, like, if you leave them in the nest and they got a chance to, build from there, they'll do something great. But some people, you leave them sitting in that nest and they're just gonna place and won't do shit. But that same child, you push them to the fire, and they'll go be great that way, because they got the kicking ass that they needed. And sometimes that's just the kicking ass that they need. But sitting in my house for 8 to 10 years, no.
So you're saying that if there is a plan, right, to
that they create,
that they create, you kind of be the manager, or the I don't know about the word manager, but the counselor, the consultant, so to speak, right?
Yep.
and it goes past 3 years. Would you be okay with that?
That would depend on what that plan is.
Okay.
If it's in a profession, because certain professions take a long time for you to get certified and for you to get to where you need to be in it. Examples: doctorate degrees, law degrees, different things like that. That's going to take a little longer than 3 years. But if it's something outside of that, you need to be knee deep into the plan. I don't need to just have. I don't want to see a plan. I want you to be knee deep into it. Like, how are you actively pursuing this plan? And I need it laid out in full detail. But if you, again, because this is, people are good at just coming up with shit. I don't know if y'all go back to y'all neighborhood often. Your neighborhood where you grew up, you might see some of your old friends, and every time you talk to them, they always got some shit that they about to do or they thinking about doing. Yeah, bro, I was thinking about getting back in school. I'm thinking about getting my certification to go get on but they don't never do it. You ask them for, okay, well, did you go down there to the office? Well, no, not yet. But I'm Monday. I'm gonna go down Monday and go check it out and see if I can. No, not no kid of mine. No, that's not happening. So you need to be knee deep into the plan to stay. If not, then you're gonna go figure it out.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I was just seeing for clarity, because I know for me the goal was to help them in the way like trying to get them a foundation to build towards, like having a house. You know what I'm saying? Having them an opportunity, if they wanted to go to not go to school, but to build a business, because I know building business take sometimes more than 3 years, right? But like, I'm with you. Like, if they have a plan and they knee deep in the plan, and they're saving, and there's a legitimate goal that they're about to reach, and 3 years just won't be it. But Dad, listen, like this 2 more years. Hey, listen, this is what it looks like. And I'm saying, well, we gonna meet every 15 days. You know what I'm saying? So I can see what it is that you working on, and how you get into this goal, because otherwise you're wasting my time and yours, right? And that's not what we want to do. We want to make sure that you're a productive individual, and you're also prepared to handle the difficulties of the world as well.
What about some character type of shit? Boxing. Send them to the basketball court every day. Like, if you're gonna live here, you're gonna go to the basketball court every day. You're gonna get outside, go do some shit. Get in the gym. I need to see some growth. Like, take your ass to the gym. I need to see like some physical growth, like some character shit. You know what I'm saying? Go do this on a normal basis. So, like, for example, my guy Mike Rashid. Like, he started working out at a young age. Now he's a multimillionaire due to his workout regimen. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes a young person can turn around and just fall in love with something that he just went outside doing, whether it's basketball, boxing, just in the gym. Something small like that could actually spark his his thought process on building, by just him building himself up, instead of just going out and get some money. Go get bigger, or go get better at something.
So let me ask you this. All right, so we say what? You're 16 in 11th grade. Is that about right? 11th grade, you know whether or not you're getting into college, if college is the plan. So if you're not going to college, what you going to do? You're going to take up a trade? You start a business? What is it that you're going to do? That means we're having this conversation at 16. Now, we didn't come out of high school. Well, what did we talk about? Ultimately, there should be no reason why you don't know what you're getting ready to do.
Right. Now, I got a little pushback on that. I think it's a reason not to, because the truth of the matter is most of you guys on here are the way you are because of what you went through and what you did not have when you was younger.
Facts.
Just like what Trill said, he was the first in his family to go and finish college. Right. So the truth of the matter is the very things we strive for, right, to be better than our parents was, to make our kids' life more convenient, it actually kind of cripples them in a way. Right? Like we all know, your kids living better than you did. Right? So my question is this: while we talk about this, what training have we received? Right? What lessons have we learned? What planning? Because we didn't, just be honest. Let's be honest. A lot of us did this shit on the fly. Right? You learned, just like Trill said, you learned your way as you went, correct? You had to make mistakes. You had to fall and get those blunders to get the experience. And it's that very adversity that taught you where you are today. And your kids don't have that same adversity. Right? So should your kids should your male child, right, be allowed some grace, or does he have to go through some type of adversity to make him the man he's going to be?
That's why I said the basketball court. Just get outside. Go lose. Go lose somewhere.
No, he need to lose at life, because every single guy that has ever been great had to fail. You had to suffer to be a man. And see, the thing that I hate a lot of times that I see, I was chilling in the audience and they keep talking about a business or money or what you want to do. They don't make you a man because you get money. It's what happens after you lose the money. It's your ability to be able to recover. It's your ability to be able to hold your family down. It's the thing that when you suffer, you build character, you build strength, you build growth, your ability to be able to survive, become a man, because you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. And just because you built the business or you get money don't make you a better person. The character aspect of it is what makes you great. I even refer back to this whole Derrick Jackson thing, right? And we know that, for all visible purposes, if you look at it on the surface, he's the top 1% of men. He got the money, he got the build, right? He was in the gym and all of this other type of shit, but he's still a shitty person. He's still a piece of shit. And the character and going through things is what keeps you as you evolve and you become more successful. And I've always said that people need to fail early because you're still young enough to recover, and you failing in a controlled environment, which means that you're able to really become the person that you're supposed to be. But if you don't go through stuff as a guy, we so busy trying to bait. This is the thing that we tell women, why we say women can't raise men, because they're so busy trying to protect them instead of teach them the lesson that allows for them to be able to become the man that they're supposed to be. My dad had money when I graduated high school. He said, I'm not buying you a car. I gave you every single tool that you need to be able to go out there and work and go and get your own. I taught you how money works. I taught you what hard work looked like. I put you through school to make sure that you got the education that you need, and you have every limb and you in your right mind, and you have the foundation of God that allows yourself to be able to continue to know what character looks like and not to go out and do it the wrong way. And so me and all three of my brothers had to go out and buy our own car. And we cherished it, and it meant a lot more to us because we had to work for it and we had to own it. And all of those things that came along with us. Listen, as a young guy, no young boy is entitled to what their parents worked for. If you want to help them along the way or whatever, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't tell nobody how to raise their kid. But that kid's responsibility is to become a man. And this is one of the things that I think that separates boys from girls, is because girls are to be cherished and taken care of. And then even when you walk down the aisle, it's covering the covering. covering the covering. Men are supposed to be the ones that groom and cover that girl. But unless he understands what it takes to be a man, and only life can really teach you that, right? You can give him all of the game and all of that, but he to implement that stuff. Unless you become a man through going through shit, you never really gonna become the person that you're supposed to be. And as he get older and as he grows up, if you continue to baby him, you're just gonna have to take care of him for the rest of your life and be in fear that when you die, this motherfucker is gonna fall off because you didn't really give him the tools that he needed in order to be successful by pushing him out into the world. I mean, every single movie, you can go in the 300 to even looking at things historically, they push the motherfuckers out there. 15, 16, you got to go on you got to learn how to hunt. Even animals, as a bird, they dropping you out the fucking nest. Fly now. It's your turn. And we so busy babying boys that they start to become feminine and they start to compare themselves to women instead of understanding what it takes in order to be a man. But that's just my personal opinion on this subject. I think that boys are supposed to suffer. And the earlier they can suffer, the better off that they'll be as men.
But you don't see that in other cultures though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in most cultures, like I taught in mostly Hispanic neighborhoods. They're living together so that they can build wealth. Like they will be 8 to 10 people, or even 2 or 3 families in the same house. These are grown men, right? And
but those grown men have to pull their weight,
right? But they still living together. Is what I'm saying. Okay. So what I'm saying is if we're talking about building wealth and we're trying to increase the black family, we're doing it wrong. Like we're not winning in that regard. So why would we do the same thing that we've been doing? Like, yes, I had to take care of my brother and my sister when I was like 14, because my mom worked like 12 and 16-hour shifts. Did it make me who I am? Obviously, right? But however, if I would have had a better structure as it relates to the family, right, I wouldn't have had to endure the fact of me having to pick up my brother and my sister, right? There are other ways in which a man can become a man just because he lives at home for a short amount of time, because I see it regularly in white families as well as Hispanic families. I'm not talking about staying forever. But and we already talked about, hold on, let me finish real quick. And I'm just saying, live there with structure and a plan to move out, because and if they don't do what you say, then they're gonna have to get out and experience the world anyway. I'm saying, like what you're saying, go ahead and fail early, right? But if they fail early without a safety net, then they doomed. Whereas if they fail in your house, then it'd be a lot better for them to have a better.
What's the safety net? What do you mean? Can you explain?
Hold on. First of all, he's conflating arguments because he's using an extreme in order to paint a picture that wasn't the picture that was painted in the beginning of the conversation. Nobody is telling him that his son gonna have to go out there and take care of a 14 and 15-year-old or his brother and sister. That's an extreme case that doesn't even apply to this. You're using your own situation. First of all, you became a great man as a result of it, but you're using your own situation in order to paint an extreme narrative, right? That's A. B, other cultures do force their kids to become men. They absolutely force their kids to become men. It's funny because, and I swear to God, on my father's grave, I was just talking to a girl, and I was coaching her through a situation, and she was like, yo, my son is like 18, 19 years old, and all he want to do is this. Because let's be clear, when he don't do what you're supposed to do, you even agreed that you need to put that motherfucker out, right? Humble Dad, did you not just say that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Cool. And I said, yo, you need to put him out. And she was like, oh my God, but Anton, he gonna be homeless or whatever, so on and so forth. She put him out. She listened, she put him out. That motherfucker is winning. He went and got 2 jobs. He enrolled in school. He doing he doing so well that he's starting to look out for his mom. He showed up. But until you actually put him in a position where they got to show and prove, you continuing to baby him and protect him. And again, this is just my perspective. I think you're doing more to hurt him than you're doing to help him.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you just used one example, just like I did. I was just saying that even if you look at it from a business perspective, right, it would make more sense for you to have a plan with your son to get to the point of a goal of, let's say, by the age of 25, you should have a job, and or you should already, if you want to be an entrepreneur, then you should already be in a position of where this business is about to launch and be taken off, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you decide to say get out there at 18, right, and they have no financial stability, you're saying go get it yourself. That's fine, you can do that, but they're going to struggle even longer, as opposed to if you allow them to fail from until they're 23, 24. That's the time that they can fail. Y'all just said that they need to be able to fail early. Why would you want to fail and not have a net to fall back on, as opposed to a launching pad?
I failed all the way up until I was 30.
But that's just you. You know what I'm saying? That ain't most
all my
people.
brothers, every single person I know that's been successful in business failed all through their 20s.
And psychologically, as a man, we learn more when we lose something. So if you're not in a position, or you haven't lost, losing a job, losing your freedom, you get in a motorcycle accident, you almost lose your life, lose your girl, lose your whatever it is, you actually sit down with yourself. How many dudes go to jail and now they're a damn Muslim or something? That is when we actually change our behavior, when we take some type of loss. But if you don't put loss in front of a man or a young man, he's not going to learn how to be a better man. It's like putting an egg that can crack. You know, if you just pop it against something, you put that shit in boiling water, now it's hard.
And I want to clarify, because everybody is stuck on the word suffering, right? That it's for me, a better word, and no disrespect to nobody, is adversity. A man has to go through adversity, right? The reason why we're everybody complaining about these Gen Zs and these new kids is because why? They don't have to go through nothing. Men are defined by the things they overcome. If y'all don't agree with that, then I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what to tell y'all. You will never, even if you sitting up there and you got, like you said, a safety net, and your mom is providing this and that and that and this, at that point you become the man your mother wants, not the man you need to be.
That was it right there. That was it.
Yeah,
the man your mother wants instead of the man you need to be. That was it right there, Ricky.
I don't think that's.
So,
go ahead, Shane. Go ahead, Shane.
Let me. So I pretty much disagree with everybody. I think I'm more in alignment with Humble Dad. I think Humble Dad can clarify, but pretty much I'm in disagreement with everybody. And you're talking about somebody who's been. I graduated high school at 16. I was working. Went to the military, been to 4 colleges, been all over the world. Let me start with this. Black people are lazy. We are lazy. And kicking your kids out is lazy parenting. The term is called failure to launch, right? I'm not sure if anybody even seen that movie with Matthew McConaughey. It's an old school movie, Failure to Launch, where the kid didn't leave, parents couldn't walk around and do what they wanted to do. Black people, do not kick your children out. That is something, that is a trope. That is what we do. What is it? Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. We are the poorest, most disenfranchised community. We got the less amount of money, and we the first ones to talk about, I can't wait till you 18 so you can get out of my house. We the only ones that say that. And we the poorest in the country. There's causation and correlation there, you guys. You should, as a parent, have been cultivating your son to be a winner when he could barely walk. But we wait until they get 16, 17, 18 and then say, well, what you want to do? You should have known that when he was 7. And if you didn't know it, you should have been pushing it or organizing it and setting it up. So that's not even a question for you when he gets 17, 18, 19, because you put a plan in place. Stop telling your children to figure it out. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a book that I suggest everybody read. Teach them. Black people, we so quick to say, oh man, you know what you got to be. And I know, because I've been through that. And I'm realizing now, and this is hindsight 2020, by the way, damn, that's a bad deal for Black people, because us figuring it out got us last right now. But we tough though. I was out there. That's how I became who I am, because I was scraping. And now you ain't shit until you 40. Watching all these other young kids winning with their parents behind them. I'm in Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen. You know how many people I watch? I'm a film producer and a fashion designer in Los Angeles. You know how many people I watch move here because they parents just said, go figure it out. No plan, no structure. Just, I'll pay for your rent for the first 6 months, and after that, and then I'll sit there and watch LA chew their ass up and send their ass right back to the Midwest. I see it month after month. Where's such and such? Oh, they went back home. Oh yeah, I knew they was going back home. Their parents didn't give a fuck what they was doing anyway. What we need to do as a community, as Black people particularly, men, to your sons especially, is put them in the best position to win. And if it's not at 18, then keep doing it until they win. But you're supposed to be part of that process all along the way, not sit back saying, what you gonna do? Well, what's your plan? What you give them a plan. You know better. You've been here all this time. You know what the world is like. You know what paying taxes and bank accounts and IRS and the world and police. You know all this stuff that you know that your young 18-year-old son don't know. Why don't you have a plan? Why you should have 4 or 5 plans. Hey man, this is what you're gonna do, or this is what I strongly suggest you do. You know where your child is strong and weak, more so than your child knows. You want to be a chef? Nah, you don't want to be a chef. Let's look at these things, because I've tasted your food. I know you think you want to rap, but yes, son, no. This is where you're strong at. And this is why I bought that equipment on Amazon and kept helping getting this. I had no problem investing in all this stuff that you needed, because I know that's what you love. You loved that when you was 3 years old. You were the mechanic of the family. You was always passing me my tools when I was out working on the car, but your brother was always in there playing video games. That's why I got him the best headset and the computer system. But I got you the best tool. You as a parent should know. You set that plan for your child so they can become the best winner they can, and invest in them financially. Put money on their books. Help them win, not sit back and say, well, you got to be tough because, hard times create strong men, and I need you to skin up your knees and shit. That's we the only motherfuckers that say that. While we sitting around watching these Asian people, Hispanic and white folk, children with their parents, helping them all through engineering school, helping them through becomes fucking astronauts and shit, helping them fucking open businesses. I'm downtown and everybody is there except for Black people. I'm like, they know me because I'm the only motherfucker down there. We shop, but none of the owners, the business owners, they don't look like us. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I get it. I understand. Put your kids through some shit so they can, especially the boys, so they can go through some stuff and they could be tough and fail. Like Anton, I believe in the fail early thing. I actually believe in that, but it's tough for me to sit there and say fail without me watching you fail. You may skin up your knee, but I'm there to pick you up. But I'm glad you failed, but I'm there to pick you up. Not to say, well, now figure out how to get up, because I'm over here working. That's what our parents did. And that's why we mad that they didn't teach us credit. Mom and dad, you didn't tell me what a FICO score was? Well, I didn't really know. Well, you should have learned. You didn't tell me, you didn't put a house, you didn't buy a house when it was cheap. I'm looking at property in Palmdale, Lancaster. My parents could have got that shit for $200. You didn't think to go get an acre for 200 back in 77? It was nothing to you. But instead you was buying JBL and Macintosh stereo systems and shit and Gucci purses instead of a piece of land. That would have put me in a better position today. Why would I turn around and do that to my kids too? That makes no sense to me.
You know,
so I say, hell no, don't have no set date for your kids to get pushed out. Because if you do, it means that you aren't doing the best thing you could do as a coach. And you upset that your team ain't scoring. You upset that your team don't know how to run a play. You upset that your team is shooting air balls and saying, well, fuck, I got to get it. I can't coach you. No, you suck as a coach. You're supposed to teach them how to run that play. You're supposed to teach them how to shoot, have the proper form to shoot the J. And so when they win as a team, you can sit back and say, yeah, that's me. Because you're going to be quick to take fucking credit if your children win, whether you are part of it or not. You're going to say, that's me. And you're going to say, I taught them all of that shit. And when they fail, you're going to say, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Nah, it's all on you. And so since it's all on you, whether they win or lose, put them in a position to win where you are helping them as much as you can, and kicking them out ain't going to help.
You know, I suggest that people also study the authors of these books that Shan is talking about, right? Because, like, for example, Rich Dad, Poor Dad was written by Robert Kiyosaki, but I would also submit to you that Robert Kiyosaki, outside of his ability to be able to make money, is a piece of shit. His life is fucked up. His wife left him. He's a simp, and he doesn't even know how to stand as a man outside of his ability to be able to generate resources. I would suggest that you also supplement that reading with The Richest Man in Babylon, The Alchemist, and then also David Goggins' You Can't Hurt Me, because those will teach you what it means to be a man, and it's more than just your ability to be able to generate resources. The thing that people don't understand, right, is that just because you make money, because it's plenty of people who had grandparents and great-grandparents and parents who left them their houses, and then that person turned around and sold that house because they didn't have the character, and they was babied, and they didn't go through the thing that their parents went through in order to be able to secure that property in the first place, and they sold the land that their parents wound up passing down to them in the first place. I see people every day, even today, that can't wait for their parents to die so that they can get whatever it is that their parents passed down to them, so that they can sell it off and be able to live the life that they want to live. Your ability to generate resources does not make you a man alone. That's not the end of the conversation. And so that's why I say maybe y'all need to also study the authors that wrote these books, because it doesn't necessarily mean that they have the entirety of what it really takes in order to become great, right? Not having a set date wasn't the conversation. The fact that the kid was unwilling to do what he was supposed to do in order to meet expectations that were set by his parents means that he had substantiated himself enough to say, I want to be out here on my own instead of doing what you told me to do. When you don't do what you're supposed to do, that means that you in a space to where you feel like you can do it on your own. So that means that you don't need me no more, because you're not going to do what the fuck you want to do in the house that I'm paying for. That's not how life works. And so we continuing to baby and continuing to do the things that's not making men, which is exactly the thing that we substantiate when we talking about these women as raising men. You're not doing them no favors. You're not doing him any favors whatsoever. All you doing is creating another monster. And even the word saying, I know a lot of people think a little bit differently, or they don't. Teach them when they're young. I agree with that. It'll never depart from them. The foundation and the lessons that you gave him as he was coming up is going to stick with him, but it doesn't mean that he's not supposed to work. Even faith without works is dead. It's not enough to just have him sitting up under you. At some time, he got to show and prove. Every single person, and I'll give you another thing, and this is my last point. Even these fucking rich people, the Warren Buffetts, the Bill Gates, all of these people say, yo, I'm not giving my fortune to my kids. The richest people in the world is saying that, yo, that's a bad idea. I'd rather give it away than give it to them. Ask yourself that question, why? Why would they rather give away their fortune and pass it on to their kids? It's a reason for that. I'm gonna just leave it there.
Real quick. Those are great books. I read them on my show. Richest Man in Babylon was the last book I read to everybody. It speaks to more about what I'm talking about than anything. But the thing is, you know, you're right when it comes to that real estate, though.
What did he go through?
You're right about when it comes to that real estate. But, you know, guess who sells grandma house the most? Guess is the community that kicks their kids out the fastest. Don't sell grandma house is what we do. Everybody else keep their grandma house and they buy more. And I get it. I hear what you're saying. You know, there's people, you know, I know what Jackie Chan said. Was it Jackie Chan said that? Somebody said it. You know, I'm not, but you know what? They're not leaving. Let's not think that they're just leaving their kids with nothing. They put them in a position to win and say win, but I'm not going to just give you 10 billion. Trump's daddy didn't say, I'm going to give you all 300 million. I'm going to give you $1 million to get started. Obama, our last 3 presidents had parents that didn't just say, go figure it out. They put them in a position to win. Now, if they fail with what they put them in a position to win with, that's a different conversation. But they probably raised those kids from a pup to make sure that they're in a position that when they give it, when they give in that position, that they'll do something productive with it. And that's what I'm saying. What we do is we just maintain our children. We don't raise them. We watch them. We babysit our own kids and give them, and nowadays giving them an iPad all goddamn day. And now they got Coco Melon and they watching these cartoons and shit. And then they grow up and then next thing you know, they're on Xbox and they can play Call of Duty like a motherfucker, right? And then we say, well, what you want to do now that you're 16? What? No, that's what I'm saying. You better figure it out because you got a year. No. That's not the plan. Don't make that the plan. The thing is, and I'm not saying it's too late. It's not too late if your child was 23 to get involved. But don't be a lazy parent. Be a active parent that's involved as much as you were when you was trying to get them to play football and shit and to be on Pop Warner and working out the play and trying to get them to condition them and have that same energy towards making sure that they have something that's going not to just get into the NFL or the NBA, but to have something that's going to sustain them for the rest of their lives in terms of career choice. And we don't do that. But we quick to kick the motherfucker out. That's all I'm saying. Stop kicking your kids out. Keep them involved. Keep them in the house. Give them a place to live with structure and a plan that's going to work for them. Remember, every stepping stone to a goal has a milestone. Are they meeting their milestones? Are you working with them on the milestones? Or are you just letting them set their own? You let them set their own milestones. No, that's not going to work with me. So you need to be here with this certification by June. And then after June, you got another 45 days to get this. And then we could revisit this in October. This is how you do it. Step by step.
Let me ask you a question.
I got to answer.
What happens when he don't meet that milestone?
The same thing that you do when they failed their driving test. Study and do it again.
What happens when he say, fuck that? Fuck your milestone. And not literally,
okay, now
but in so many words, this is a grown fucking man. He probably bigger than you. What happens when he say, okay, cool, fuck your milestone in so many words with my actions? Then what happens?
This is where, now I hear what you're saying. This is where you fucked up a long time ago as a parent.
No. We not talking about in the past, Shan.
Well, because you're giving hypothetics.
No. What do you do? It's real time. He say, fuck your milestone. He know you ain't kicking him out the house because you ain't got the backbone to do so, and you're gonna have that safety net up under him. But he said, fuck your milestone. Now what? What you gonna do?
You there?
These
Hello.
yeah. No, I'm just thinking these
thinking,
weird.
bro. That's crazy.
No, because these weird scenarios. So I got a so you saying I got a child that says
How
fuck
is
the
that
milestone?
weird? How is that weird? Motherfuckers go out and do what they want to do every day.
Everybody kids say fuck your milestone, Shane.
They do what they want to do.
No. That's my point. See, that's what you know why the kids that say fuck your milestone is the kids that had parents that was shitty parents to begin with.
That's a lie. Most kids going to rebel, bro.
Hold on. It's some parents that do everything right and the kids still do what they want to do. And it don't mean that they're a bad person. It may be they going through a moment, whatever it is that's happening. What happens? What do you do in real time? This motherfucker is 19 and
19
and his 19, 20, whatever. In his actions, he said, fuck your milestone, and I don't want to do what you told me to do. Then what?
Keep working. Keep at 19, then,
okay,
then what would you
what does that work look like?
You got a new milestone.
Fuck your milestone.
You got new shit.
Talking about
this, you know, well, I mean, what do you there's because I can't imagine that scenario, but if it happened, because I'm assuming I can't imagine the kind of parent I am. I can't imagine that happening. I've already raised kids to adults. It never happened before. So, but if I have to go into this la-la land of that happening, and that's my child at 19 years old, then what's the new plan? Then what's the new plan?
I think
then what's the new milestone?
I think we're missing a real life caveat. Right. And I think we had this conversation before to an extent, but the truth is your children are their own people. I love the way everybody listen. I hear what y'all saying, right? And what y'all say, what they say to me in the chat, right? Ricky, that's not realistic. You looking at a perfect world. In a perfect world, your guidance from the time, exactly like you said, Shannon, right? You guide, you provide milestones, you're an active leader, you're an active parent. But the truth of the matter is, one day that child is going to look at life differently than what you told them. Now, we can keep pointing out the cases where these families have traditions. Again, we got to understand. We got to understand, to be honest, traditions start somewhere, right? So one son or daughter realized at one point, hey, this is what mom and dad does. This is what I'm going to do. And then it carries on from generation. Yes, that happens, right? But let's be honest. If this was the case, and if these guidelines worked for everybody in every single situation, there would be more black doctors. There would be more black businesses. There would be more black plumbing companies. We know that's not the case because people are there.
Is Ricky breaking up?
Ricky, you freezing up a little bit.
I look good on my end.
Not on my end. You look regular on my end.
Right? Your children are their own people. And I understand why we want to guide our children and set them on a particular path. The truth is, when that child becomes an adult and they get their own independent thinking, they're going to want to go their own way in most cases.
That's good. Yes.
So yes, indeed.
I want the kids to go.
I didn't get a solution.
Because what you're saying is what I'm gonna do with an unruly child, a child that's in the house saying "fuck you," but "fuck you," I'm going to my room, Dad. The fuck? It's like, come on, man.
No, we talking about a grown kid that you said don't kick him out, right? And we always, because let's be clear, there are other cultures where kids are saying "fuck your milestones." And they don't literally say it to their parents verbatim, but in their actions, they do what they want to do when they're not focused on what it is that their parent is telling them to do, understanding that there's a safety net and their parents ain't gonna do nothing to them because they've already established that this is the way it's gonna be. So in a scenario where a person is rebellious and they do what they want to do when they want to do it and they're not meeting your expectations, let me give you a real life scenario. You gave him a milestone, said go to school. This motherfucker barely go to class. His grades is fucked up. You paying for his education or whatever, right? He leave the crib and he do what he want to do when he want to do it. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with a kid that's going to do a grown man in your crib that's doing what he want to do when you want to do it, and you paying the bills?
I'd say, well, fuck school, son. School ain't for you.
But he's saying, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing. Now what?
No, and see, that's what I'm saying. So now you guys, and that's what it's people always use these
scenario,
extremes just to get a point across.
All right, so Shan, you
got
brought
these
up.
extreme. Oh, you got a child that doesn't want to do nothing. He just want to. Come on, man.
Shannon,
you know, like
if you got to answer the question,
if you're gonna go to college, if you're gonna go to college, it's because you believe that college is best for you as well as much as I do. But if you're gonna go to college, you're not gonna go to school, then don't go to college.
Shannon, I did the same thing to Anton Thursday. And Anton, you was doing the same shit Thursday as now. Won't answer the question.
No, I answered it directly. You asked me Thursday.
Hey, y'all finna get into a whole different conversation.
No, you asked me specific questions. And you said,
people don't want to answer the question.
What would you do with a woman that can't get her weight off because she ain't got no time to go to the gym? And I told you to put less food in your mouth because a caloric deficit has nothing to do with your ability to get to the gym. I answered your question directly.
That was not the question, Anton. I was just making a point. Shannon is doing the same shit is all I'm saying. Why can't you just answer the question, Shannon? If your son,
ask me the question because I don't like when niggas move a goalpost. But go ask me the question.
If your son, you told him to go to college, he flunked out of college. You told him to go get a job.
I see you eating Trill.
He don't want to do shit, and he's just in your house and don't want to do nothing. What do you do then? He don't do nothing. I don't know, Dad. Why don't you do it? Nope, I don't want to do that.
Hey, give him a moment, Mr. Lego. He got to give him think time.
I'm thinking of these. I hate unrealistic. I hate unrealistic questions.
Shannon is one
the
of
answer
the
at that point. Listen.
Shannon is one of the smartest dudes on the panel. Shannon is the only person on the panel that reads to his audience. Shannon understands the question. He's not confused. He doesn't have to overthink it.
He doesn't want to answer the question, Anton.
Yeah, I am avoiding answering this. I'm literally avoiding.
Hold on, y'all.
Niggas don't want to answer the questions.
Hold on, y'all. Gotta get Rio in there. Go ahead, Rio.
All right, Shan. So instead of that question, we can circle back to it. You mentioned other cultures, right? So yesterday, me and Humble Dad, we were talking to Trigger Mike. Trigger Mike was saying how his cousin wanted to be a DJ. His cousin's father says, no, you're not going to be a DJ. You're going to be a doctor. He says, now, once you make money after becoming a doctor, you can buy all the DJ equipment you want to buy, and you can do all the DJing you want to do in your spare time. They're Nigerian. What he did was he became a doctor. And now his garage is filled with DJ equipment. And in his spare time, he DJs in his garage. Why is it that we talk so much about choice, but other cultures, some of these other cultures that you mentioned who are producing successful offspring can be told what to do, and their fathers have so much influence that they take heed, they listen, and they push forth with the direction that they were pointed. You mentioned that we are messing up early on. If our kids aren't early on, so
no influence, right?
Why? And what do we need to change in order to have that level of influence? And do we want parenting from influence?
Stop babysitting motherfucking your own children. The answer to that question, that's the easy one. Stop babysitting get involved early. Stop maintaining children and start raising them. And the fact that whoever you're talking about, because I don't know anything about this conversation, whoever you're talking about, the father that told him, hey, you're going to be a doc. And I wouldn't even have said that. I would have said, okay, well, cool. Let's see what that's going to be like. But let's also do this. But anyway, his father had the influence over him to make him say, okay, Pop, so you know best. And the only reason he had that was because of early on at age 6 and 7.
And culture. And culture too. I said in their culture as well.
And the culture too, which probably said, this is my environment, and this is what my neighbors do, and this is what all my friends do. And all my friends say, Pop, say this is gonna work out, and we all are winning, and I might want to do this instead. The only kid that's really gonna say, man, fuck what you talking about, is when his daddy ain't shit.
Man,
the only kids.
My daughter did the same shit, and I'm way away from not being shit.
Didn't even quiz him on fucking credit.
Oh my God.
You didn't help him out.
It wasn't even about that. It was she wanted to do what she wanted to do. It had nothing to do with no damn
That's
credit.
my point.
It's
Why were you the type of parent? I'm not saying I don't know what kind of dad you were.
I want to do what I want to do. Kids do shit like that, and they don't want to do what you want them to do. And then they don't know what they want to do, and they just want to just sit there. And
because you know why? You know why? Because that only happens to parents who play a tape and expect their kids to learn how to do credit and don't ask them.
Why don't you just answer my question instead of just trying to triangulate and shit? Answer the damn question.
I'm gonna tell you what I see. Shan don't want to come off that thing.
Now you see what I'm saying, Don.
No, Shan don't want to come off that thing of putting him the fuck out.
Right.
And so as a result, Shan would choose not to answer the question than to reposition himself as saying that motherfucker got to get out if he don't really want to do it.
Hey, let me piggyback off of that, Anton, real quick.
Aggressive technique in order.
Let me piggyback off of that because that's what I said, right? I said everything that Shannon said, but I then said if they being unruly and not following the structure of what's going down, then they got to get out. Shannon, you're a businessman. You and you also have employees, right? So I would imagine that you want your employees to be great and do well. I would imagine that. Is that fair to say? Right. Mm-hmm. And you give them a structure in which they're supposed to be running this business, the business in a way that when you're not there, it runs smoothly. Mm-hmm. But if there is one that says, listen, Shannon, Mr. Shannon, I'm not doing none of this.
Mm-hmm.
What you doing?
Do I fire him?
That ain't what I didn't ask. I just said what you doing. I'm not.
No. Okay. So I don't fire people anymore. And I learned this from Macy. I forget the motivational speaker, Macy. I forget the white guy with the glasses. And so, you know what? They can quit all day long. But what I do is I demote them. You can no longer you're no longer in charge of in my case I only have 7 positions. So you're no longer in charge of inventory. You're not my inventory manager no more. Now you're just this. Now you're just this. And then you get to the point where now you only have 5 hours a week. And when you come, all you're doing is sweeping. But I would try to mold them. I'd say, why won't you do this? I try to find out where they're strong at. Every human being has a strength somewhere. And so because I may put somebody in production or somebody comes on because they think that they know how to do design and they really suck at design. They want to be a buyer. She don't know what the fuck to buy. She's missing out on deals. She's not creating a good relationship with the suppliers. That's just not good for you. You pull them off of that. And then I say, okay, this is what you should probably do. Now, if they say, I don't want to do that, I really want to do this over here that I suck at, I say, well, you can't do that anymore. Not for me, but you can do this. Well,
so then I got you. So then how could you apply that same logic to the scenario that Anton gave, even though it's far-fetched, but it does.
Because it wouldn't be real. Because the realistic answer is Anton answered it for me. I just didn't want to say it.
Are you a simp parent?
Anton answered it for me. I just didn't want to say it.
Anton, Shannon, you are a simp parent. You're a simp parent.
No, Mr. Let Go, bruh, chill. I'll be nice to you, but I don't gotta be nice with your dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? You the motherfucker that got kids. You got the daughter. You got the daughter that won't even listen at you. First of all, so that means you a fucked up ass daddy. That's number one.
No, that ain't what it is.
You already admitted that you didn't teach your kids what the fuck they should. You playing tapes. You don't even know credit. You trying to teach you. Well, why you don't know? I thought I taught you. No, she told you, nigga. You should have taught me something. You a parent. You a present parent that's not present. That makes you a fucking ain't shit daddy.
Do you see what you're actually doing though?
I'm the type of motherfucker that's gonna make sure my kids is solid from the beginning.
Do you see what you're doing though?
You actually have a daughter that don't know shit because
Shannon,
of you.
This is called projecting.
What are you talking about?
Shannon,
you actually have a daughter that don't listen to you. Shannon, there's nobody that's come up under my
why are you projecting,
employee or business or personal that says that Shannon,
why are you projecting,
didn't teach
bro?
me something. Everybody learned something from me.
Why are you projecting? You going?
No, I'm not
oh,
projecting. I'm just telling you that
we're talking about
you
you.
a father.
You're trying to bring it
I'm
on
just
me.
showing you
We're
that
talking
you're
about
an
you,
ain't
bro.
shit daddy. I'm showing you that you're an ain't shit daddy because you said that you're an ain't shit daddy. You painted it pretty. I'm just telling you what it is.
Okay, whatever. Can you answer? You still ain't answering the damn question then. You can say all this shit, still answer the damn question. Why or what would happen if your son didn't want to do shit? It's on you. You said all what you want to say on me. What would you damn do if your son said, I ain't doing shit? Answer the question.
Anton answered it for me already.
Nigga. You see the shit?
You see that? You see you got me, Anton?
You damn simp parent.
Anton. So if you got a kid, so like the first thing that popped in my mind was send them to the military, but then they'll say I'm not going to the army, right? Because like you guys say, adults could do what the fuck they want to do, right? So if you got somebody in your house and you say, listen, this is what you should do. Okay, you don't want to do that. Or I don't want to send you to college. You don't want to do that. Well, go to the military. You don't want to do that. What do you want to do? I don't want to do nothing, Dad. I just want to sit in my room. Well, the reality is that's not your room no more. You got to get the fuck out of here. That's the reality of it, right? And that's what Anton said. And y'all know I don't want to say that. It's not that I'm scared to say it. It's just that it's difficult when people move a goalpost or make a scenario that's so far-fetched that they're just trying to exaggerate to get their point across. I hate when people exaggerate to try to get their point across.
But though, Shannon, even like every point when it comes to logic is able to connect to each particular scenario that is presented. So when you was like, I don't want to put them out, like you know that's not logical. If a person is being defiant towards you, that means that they don't even respect your authority. You have to then begin to enforce your authority.
Well, yeah, but see that's my point. That means that that means that the rebuke to what I'm saying is using an extreme when I'm simply saying be a better parent, which is not an extreme. I'm simply saying get involved with your children. The context was removed from my entire statement on we're lazy motherfuckers as a community. We're lazy people. We kick our kids out the most and we're the poorest. That's not far-fetched. That's a reality. And then I'm saying the solution to that, which is what King was talking about, is why don't we get involved a lot earlier? Because we shouldn't ask our children. We shouldn't ask a 17-year-old kid, what do you want to do? We should know that. But if we don't know that, we fucking failed as a coach. So it's all on our shoulders. This is what everybody talk. This is king talk, right? What are we doing as kings and raising kings? Well, we damn sure can't be hands-off kings. We got to be hands-on from as early as possible. Now, if we remove all of that and then say, you got a kid that just says, Dad, I ain't doing shit. I'm going to just sit around and play. I'm going to eat your food, shit in your toilet, and sleep in this room, and I ain't doing nothing you want me to do. Well, where the fuck is that kid that's coming like that with my context? It doesn't happen. You can't name one.
It does happen every day.
No,
bro.
But it's not the norm though. It's not the norm. It's not the norm. And I interview dads on a regular basis. Like that's not the norm. I'm talking about what y'all talking about. That's not the norm. What Shannon is talking about is the norm. When you
I'm just saying it happens. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it does happen. But like
extremes. I thought men are the ones that do not use not all, but some.
I don't think that's an extreme circumstance.
I thought we don't have to talk about absolutes.
I don't think that's an extreme circumstance. I think that there's plenty of Jodies in this world. I do.
Yes. I agree. We got way too many Jodies in this world. We got a whole lot of shiftless niggas that ain't shit. But then where's the background? How did they become
Shannon, I'm not disagreeing
Jody?
with that. That's why I never debated that point. When you said to meet the expectation earlier, and to be parenting them the whole time, I don't have no pushback for that whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So the part that I was speaking to was that I think that at some point, a lot of us in a lot of different ways was rebellious to whatever it is that our parents set as a foundation in our life. I had a point of rebelliousness that I went through. Thank God I went through it earlier than when before I actually graduated high school. My rebellious.
What did you rebel against though, Anton?
I rebelled against the entire way that I was being raised, being
everything, being
in the church, You know what I'm saying? All of that. Like, I wasn't raised to do a lot of the things that I was doing, right? My father, and the example that he set was much different. But instead of babying me, they let me go through some of that stuff. They let me suffer through some of that stuff. Instead of saying, oh, no, listen, I just need to keep talking to you. And they was like, listen, the way you're going to reach this motherfucker is you just going to have to let him suffer. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to let him catch some L's. You're going to have to, and that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never even really said this part, but, well, I'm not going to share that part of my life. That'll be a whole nother conversation. But my point is that I'm very thankful that my parents let me go through some of the stuff that I went through, because it taught me the lesson early. But I think that if they had babied me, then it would have enabled my behavior even more instead of correcting me.
And see, that's why when I said I disagree with most of y'all, because I didn't agree with all of everything. It's like the babying thing. You know, I'm not babying. The fuck, we don't baby over here. That's what it's almost like I gotta unprogram what grandma do. It's like, stop hugging. No,
Shannon, I wasn't speaking
the baby part. I agree with. It's like, we don't need the baby boy.
I know you a good father. I know you a good dude. That's why I wasn't speaking specifically to your life. There's plenty of guys, and we see it all the time. A kid get up to the point to where they decide that they want to challenge their father, or they want to challenge the environment that they live in, or even if they live in with their mother, but they still got their father in their life, because it's not necessarily a household in which their parents are still together. It comes to a head, and then he got to go and send him to live with his father or whatever, so on and so forth, right? The scenarios happen on a regular basis.
Boys in the hood.
And Shan, so you saying none of that ever happened? Because my daughter is not a loser or none of that shit. She just rebelled, and she just didn't want to do what I told her to do. So she had to go. I didn't kick her out or nothing like that, but we had a conversation, and you know, but at the end of the day, you never dealt with any type of rebellion.
I'm asking you, why would your daughter get to the point that she would not do what her father suggests?
Because she wanted to rebel. That's what kids do. Your children have
I
never.
don't believe that. So at that point,
man,
and this
I'm
is just
asking
me.
you a question. So you're saying your children never rebelled against what you told them to do? Just a question.
No.
Well, that, humble dad, is not normal. That is not great.
No. It's
Shane.
very normal. It's very normal for children to rebel.
Grown children or reaching adult children, they usually rebel in some type of way.
They do. No, listen. I think we're getting mixed up. So let's not get lost in translation. Here's the thing. There is a ton of kids that rebel. There's a ton of daughters that do what Mr. Let Go's daughter do. There's a ton of sons that say fuck dad. There's a ton of kids that don't listen to their mama and daddy. There's a ton of them. There's more than I'd like to think of now that I'm thinking about some of my young frat brothers. I'm thinking of some of the motherfuckers that was in the military with me, some of the people that's at my college, some of the people in my hood. I know that your daughter is actually common. I'm saying why. And the why is where I'm get to the parenting part. That's where I'm saying. Now here's the thing.
Well,
this is where Humble Dad comes in. The why isn't where I did everything. You know what? You were fucking babied, like Anton is saying.
No. Hold on. I can answer why.
Final thoughts.
Okay, go. It was a divorce. Like Anton used that as an example. Sometimes the parents break up. So we're not saying that the children are perfect or whatever. We're just saying, what do you do when your child rebels? You're stuck on, why is they rebelling? I'm a good father. You're not a. We're just saying, if or when your child rebels, what do you do? That's what this whole conversation is about. And you took so long to just simply answer a question. And you start
this conversation, but that's the thing about it. The whole conversation wasn't about that. The whole conversation.
What do you do when it just happens? That's all I'm saying.
No, I guess my thing is the whole conversation wasn't about what happens when your children say fuck you. That wasn't the conversation. The conversation was, do we do failures to launch and do we kick our children out? And I'm simply saying, stop doing that. We don't need to kick our kids out no more.
And I agree with you on that.
Kick them out. Hear me out. everybody, please kick your children out if you're gonna be a lazy parent.
I agree with you.
If you're gonna wait till you get to 17, if you got a daughter that wants to be a model and you're not gonna be right there doing all you can to make sure that she gets in fucking Vogue magazine and you're going to all the auditions, you're doing everything that you're supposed to do to help your daughter become the best model she can at the earliest age, which is where it's important for a model to become one, then don't sit up and say, okay, well, I'm gonna just send you to New York and when you get 18 and let me know how your auditions go. Call me next month. That's what the fuck we're doing. That's what's happening. And it's happening far too often in the Black community. I'm saying that won't happen if you become a better parent. That's all I'm saying. And so don't kick out is the first thing.
And what I'm saying, it will happen even if you are a better parent.
As a mom or dad.
Because children are individuals, so it will or could happen regardless of what type of parent you are, because your children are themselves. They are individual people, like Ricky said. So that's some bullshit, because at the end of the day, everybody has their own experience, and your children are going to have different experiences than you have as a parent. You can't turn children aren't robots.
Can we get the super chats? Can we get the super chats? We gonna be beating this horse. We beating this horse.
Because we're gonna be on this. We're gonna be on this for a while.
Hey, I got a lot of passion, man.
I got you guys. I hear what y'all saying. I understand you. I'm just simply, I got you guys. And Mr. Let Go, I ain't mean to come at you like that. So I apologize for that. I got out of character. I don't want to be like that.
No, it's all good. You just acting like a single mother. That's all.
And so, but I did want to say,
Shannon, still ain't done yet, huh?
No, I ain't done. Let me wrap it up.
Look, we gotta do super chats, bro.
No, all right, cool. I'm gonna throw it to Ricky in just a second. I wanted to know. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. Trill and Anton got daughters. I don't think I can't guarantee it. I don't think they can either. But I don't think that Trill or Anton is gonna have to worry about their daughter saying, fuck you, I don't want to do nothing.
That wasn't my situation. Let
me just say this one caveat.
I just said my daughter rebelled. I didn't say she didn't want to do nothing.
This ain't about you, Mr.
I agree, but I just want to let you know that the consistency is key, because I've said previously, if my daughter decides that she want to do what the fuck she want to do, there's consequences that come along with that. You're not going to be standing up into my crib doing what you want to do when you want to do it.
I understand that I understand both you and Trill is going to say, God, Trill's only giving her 3 years. I got it. I know the repercussions. I'm simply saying I have a feeling that
I got what you're saying.
Anton and Trill, young as of today, the 13th of December, 2022, young underage daughters, when they become adults, we ain't gonna have to worry about hearing them. I would bet my farm that their daughters aren't gonna say, fuck you, dad, I just want to sit here and watch YouTube all day. I just have a feeling that that's not gonna happen. And the reason that that's not gonna happen is because I have a feeling, and I haven't watched them or been in their house, I have a feeling that Trill and Anton is doing what I'm suggesting the rest of us need to do.
I have daughters too, by the way, just so you know, Shan. I have 2 of them.
Okay, well, I'm speaking, but we on the same sheet of music, so I'm kind of talking to the 2 guys that was kind of going against what I was saying. So I just have a feeling that that's going to be the case. That's what I wanted to say, JR. Go ahead, Rick.
Trill is chilling. He eating chips. He having a good time.
Yeah, well, she got 3 years. She got 3 years. So Trill ain't tripping. He got time. Some of y'all niggas is kicking motherfuckers out as soon as they turn 18.
Yo, my kid moved back in with me as an adult, and we was good. Everything was good. And then she wanted to do her own thing all over again. I'm like, here we go again. You know what I'm saying? But it's just what kids do. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. Kids are just going to be kids. That's it.
All right, if you guys just tuning in, welcome to King Talk. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, Teach Hanley, again, uncomplicated skincare for men. Make sure you guys click that link in the description. 30% off along with a free gift. Let's go ahead and get to these super chats for Ricky.
Sure. Arnisha Cage, a new member. Welcome to the family, sis. Thank you. Courtney Williams, a 20 ball. Appreciate you, big dog. He said, had to leave the house at 18, made so many mistakes financially because I had to learn by trial and error. I'll give my son until 23 and teach him everything I learned so far. Facts. Me University, HD, any combo can happen. The lessons supersede the results. I don't care about the money, that's on them. We all smart and gotta be stupid. Doctors fall too. JB, what's good, young lion? He said, I met this 28-year-old Canadian dude on a plane who runs an entire suite of dealerships in Florida. His dad is Armenian and started the biz in Canada and set up the U.S. biz for his son. That's so dope. It is, sir. MK Rick, Shane is so right. Other races get their kids in the company, they invest in their kids. Will G, Rupert Murdoch has his kids going through the gauntlet to be the heir apparent. Even his fatherly favors are a test to them. JB again, he said, most wealthy folks don't say that, Anton. A minority do, but the overwhelming majority don't. Most wealthy folks pass their wealth on to their children. This is backed by data and statistics. Me University, outside influences will have their say. JB again, this is why most wealthy families use trust. If you don't meet the terms dictated by the trust, you don't get access to the assets and or wealth. Purple Bill Pod, 20 ball. Appreciate you, big dog. He said, I was that kid with perfect parents. I still rebelled and got kicked out at 18. For me, it was the best thing that could happen to me. Some people can handle pressure, some can't. Men can be normal or be under pressure.
If they kicked you out at 18, can you call it perfect? Perfect?
Me University.
That's their experience.
Older cultures don't play with corporal punishment. Sugar Curls, hey sis. He said, she said, as a business owner, I understand Shannon's logic about not firing and instead demoting and decreasing hours. Firing by proxy. Kelly Combos, what's good, sis? Salute to the kings. Sending love to my king, the number one, Lapeef Jr. Aw. Support the best network in the world. Hit the like button. It's free. Me University again. Mr. R, we're not smarter than Eli, Samuel, and Adam. Me University, double digits is an adult. Time to go to work, son. Sugar Curls again. I think if adult children rebel, parents should treat them how God treated the Israelites. Redirect, reprove, love, then let them go. Facts. Tanisha Arnold, $10. Thank you so much. Shan Cap, my daddy great, but I disobeyed because too much church. Thought he was lame till I grew up. Nothing to do with him. Just didn't listen till life happened. Me University, it's not you that have rejected, but me. That was God. Adonis 1909. Biggest influence in a child's life is the parent. Vic the Kid you. Shannon is the parents that every time I do something wrong, all I basically get is to be put on timeout and put in the corner and say, don't do that.
That's exactly why motherfuckers don't do. So those are the parents that actually you say, fuck you, Dad, I ain't doing nothing. Think about it.
Okay. Shelter Ward, salute to the kings. Much respect. What's good, my boy?
All right, that's all the super chats. Appreciate everybody that donated. Shout out to the Green Gang. Also, shout out to the sponsor again, T Channel. Make sure you guys click that link. 30% off along with a free gift. Moving on to our next topic before we get to the meat. This topic is women also abuse men. We're going to play this clip.
Come here. Get your hand off me. Come here. What? Where were you? I'm not talking to you about this. I'm not talking to you about this. Get your hand off me.
Who was there?
Get your hand off me.
Who was there? Tell me who was there.
People are looking at us. People are looking at us. Will you get your hand off me? Stop. They're looking. People are looking at us. What's wrong with you?
Honestly, we're fine.
Grand, thanks.
Okay, because someone will call the police if you carry on doing that to someone.
Okay.
If I don't, someone else will.
Okay. It's perfectly fine.
You don't have to put up with that, honey.
Okay. Thank you.
My office is there. You're definitely all right.
Yeah, I am.
Just come and knock.
I'm grand, thanks. What do I do what? Do you ever listen to me?
Chrissy, stop it. Just, you're crazy, man.
Manic. I've been talking at you for the last 10 minutes and you haven't listened. You haven't gotten into fucking what I've been saying to you. Then you're fucking not even listening to me. That's what. Why do I push you like that? Because you won't fucking respond to me about any. You won't listen to me. You think you're fucking all manly.
I wasn't.
No, you can't be. No, you can't be. Don't try and fucking walk away. Stop. Listen to me when I'm talking. Don't try and fucking walk away from me. Stop it. Was it fucking bullshit? Was it fucking bullshit?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What the fuck's wrong with you? There's nothing. Don't give me that shit, okay? Pathetic. You're so fucking pathetic.
All right, women also abuse men. What did you guys notice in that clip?
I can't imagine nothing like that happening. It happens, but I don't even know what I would. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have no answer to that. I don't know.
You didn't ask the question. I asked what did you notice in the video? With that voice.
The woman. Oh, okay. I got you. The people had no reaction. They literally, it was some women laughing. So it was like either no reaction or people were actually laughing that the man was getting treated like that. So that's what I see.
Go ahead, Trey. I seen he came off the mic.
No, I echo what he said. Okay. Literally.
All right. So in this video, I thought it was quite interesting because when I came across this video, I know that this happens. It's just probably not reported, but it's crazy how the world views it, right? It's perfectly fine for a woman to put her hands on a man. And I don't think people realize how much restraint a man has to exercise within that moment. So I thought this was a great video to look at how the world views when these things happen. I mean, typically a man is not going to report this shit, right? I mean, usually it's something simple, unless it's something crazy, or the police come in and they see clearly he has wounds or a mark on him. But I just thought it was just something that was quite interesting. Anybody want to share their thoughts on it?
I'll tell you what else I noticed real quick in regard to the man that I see a lot, how long he stood there and tolerated it. Like as men, like I just couldn't wrap my head around, like if a woman raises her hand to me, it's over with. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. I don't ever want to speak again. I don't care. We got kids together. I don't care what it is. I'll hire an intermediary to take care of the exchange of kids and all that. Like we have nothing to talk about. I have nothing to say to you ever again. But most men don't really treat it that way, right? They find some type of bravado in the fact that, you know what I'm saying, like that, oh, you know, just letting this woman do what you're supposed. Oh, you know, that's just a woman. It don't hurt, whatever. Not realizing that type of thing escalates. So when you putting your hands on a man, you pushing him in the chest, mushing him in the face, this and the third, like if you're letting that woman continuously get away with things, all it's going to do is escalate to something else. And eventually a knife going to come out. Eventually a gun going to come out. Or, you know, you driving down the street and she doing all types of shit in your face. And again, these are situations that I done seen, like as a kid growing up, unfortunately. Not in my household specifically, but, you know, in a lot of family members' households for sure, and friends. But, you know, it just always surprised me how much tolerance a man has for that type of thing. But I guess if you break it down even further, like I always say, men take pride in receiving less than and still, you know, I guess persevering anyway, or whatever the case may be. And
yeah,
I'm not for that.
Zealotry.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
The one thing I saw that I noticed is that while he was approaching her and confrontational, he didn't hit her.
Mm-mm.
She hit him though. And even though he didn't really lay a hand on her in that fashion, he did grab her and put his hands on her face. Everybody jumped in to save, but she's sitting out there whooping his ass. And ain't nobody, they laughing at him.
But he didn't strike her though, huh? I mean, he put her, but he didn't. She struck him.
He grabbed her face with both hands. He did not hit her.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that stems from like we as people programmed to think women can't hurt you, and that's just not true. Like women can hurt you a lot of times, because most times that they attack, it ain't gonna be in direct confrontation like that. It's gonna be catching you on the blind side. It's gonna be catching you, like ask Al Green or ask people like that. You know what I'm saying? Hot grits and shit thrown on you, or you know, throwing something at you when you ain't looking because you ignoring her, shit like that. Like it ain't gonna be a direct, like when you looking at face, like what is you talking about, like, you know, to get aggressive like that. Because I mean, she's not, you know, again, women are reckless, but they're not stupid. They know when that man is getting to a point to where it's like, hey, stop playing with me before I put your head through that sheetrock. And then it's at that point that they tend to kind of tone it down a bit. But you know, again, I think men just let it go too far. It ain't no pride in accepting abuse or accepting punishment and getting up and persevering anyway to make the relationship work and this, that, and third. Because what a lot of men don't realize, what you're doing is you set an example for your kids. When you stand there and dealing with it, you think you stand for the kids so they can have a two-parent situation and this, that, and third. But you setting the example of, for one, what your daughter should accept or try to do when she goes out into the world, and what your son should accept when he goes out into the world, because he's a man and this, that, and the third. And it's just toxic all the way around. So, you know, for any young dude listening to this, if that woman raised her hand to you, that should be the end of the relationship. Period.
You know, it's interesting, Trill. You gave me a perspective on this video that I didn't see. So Trill just told everybody that one thing that he noticed that I didn't pay attention to, thank you, is that he tolerated it when he didn't have to. So I guess is this maybe where the audience or the people or the pedestrians or whatever didn't get involved? Because if a woman is being abused in a physical manner, like dude, she may not be able to get away. She can, that guy, he can literally hold her hostage, or, you know, a kidnapping situation. You know, just you can't go left and right. You're not going to outrun me. You're not strong enough. You can't leave unless I let you leave. Whereas on the other hand, this woman he could have just walked away. There's nothing she could have done. She's not strong. He's 7 times stronger than her. He sat there and took the abuse and, what are you doing? Stop. You know, all this bullshit. Instead, whereas he could have just gave her a stiff arm and walked to the right, there's nothing that she could have done. And maybe I wonder if everybody subconsciously realizes that he could have done that and didn't do it. Whereas if she wanted to do that, she couldn't. I don't have a point. I just want everybody to marinate on that piece that Trill kind of just brought to, at least to my mind.
I think there's some truth to that, Shan, because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was looking away. I was snacking, and I chuckled when I heard his tone, and in the way that he was so, I don't know, submissive, you know, and almost, I don't know, feminine to me, you know, and I think I didn't realize I was chuckling, but I was, you know, and because a weak man is just, I don't know, in society we just, it's just not respected. You know what I mean? We know that he doesn't need to be rescued. As you mentioned, he could walk away, stiff arm and keep it moving, like you mentioned, but he didn't. He stays there. Please stop. You know, whatever it is he's saying, I don't know. That's pretty much what we hear. And so he just looks like a goofy in that moment, you know? And so at the same time, like I said, I don't think any man should be accepting abuse, but so there's nothing funny about it, but his response to it was just, I don't know, just extra weak, so to speak. And that kind of comes off as funny to us subconsciously.
I think that you made a very good point, AC, that that the man was seen as inferior, right? That's what it looked like. I mean, that's how he seemed to be, very passive, right? What I noticed was that the conversation, I was listening to the words that was going on. It from the first clip was that he was showing her that, or talking to her about something she did and that he didn't agree with. Who was that? Who were you talking to? What was going on with that situation? And he was upset, so to speak, about her not answering. she was acting like Shannon, right? Didn't want to answer the question, right? Just playing with you, Shannon, right? And so, but it's like nobody was listening to that. They just saw him responding to her, seeming to be aggressive. However, he was just trying to get an answer of what it is that was going on. And so it also may have continued to allude to what you were saying, Trill, which is that they seen her being in a position of being able to be hurt and not being able to run away and needing protection, as opposed to on the other side of that, they like, okay, he's a man, he should be able to protect himself. Now, my question would be like, what if she had a bat? Would there be a different scenario of where they may come to the rescue? Right? It's very right. You know, it could be a no, Trill. I'm just interested to know that because they're the same two people, right? It's just in a different time and space.
Trill, they would help if she had a whole baseball bat in her hand.
Hey, but
the reason why I'm saying is because the scenario that we're talking, the statement that we're talking about is one of where one's needs protection, and that's why they came to the rescue, and the other one they don't feel like he needs protection, so they didn't. So I'm just curious to that point. But
because even if the woman had a bat, and I'm not saying what a typical man would do, but it's still a woman. Like, you swing the bat, I'm just gonna catch the bat and just take it from her. Like, I'm sorry, y'all gotta understand.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him in the scenario.
But women, to a certain degree, are children. So it's like a child with a damn bat. What is it's
okay? So in that scenario, what would you have done?
This as being, let me save him, because he's like, they're like, yo, if you don't want to save yourself, stay your ass over there, look crazy.
Hey,
you know? She did have a bat.
Hey, Mr. Let Go. If she got a pistol, is she just a child with a gun?
No. The pistol is different, but I'm just saying you could protect yourself from a woman with a bat versus a woman with a pistol. That's different. But I'm just saying, even if she had a bat in hand, I don't think anybody would have tried to help, because I don't know.
Okay, man. You know the funny part is, even if she had a pistol, they still wouldn't jump in for the opposite reason.
Exactly.
I won't get shot.
This what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's our fault regardless, bro. She whooping his ass and it's his fault. That's what y'all saying.
I didn't say that.
Yes. Actually, yes. Because I was thinking that. I was like, he's part of the problem in that particular scenario, because like, just walk your ass away. Like, what are you doing, bro?
That's my problem with the situation.
Okay, true. Hold on. But walk your ass away. Didn't he walk his ass right into that situation where she walked right behind him?
Let her walk behind me. What the hell is she gonna do?
The shit she just did.
No,
hold on. No matter what, it would have came down to him defending himself, where if he beating her ass, he's still going to jail, right?
In that scenario, out and wide open, if he was walking away and she kept coming, going at him or whatever, it was an easy way that he could have just pushed her away, like, all right, gone somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And do that a couple of times, just keep walking. And I can understand a woman that keeps approaching you, keeps yelling, things like that. But in the worst case scenario, what is a woman that is unarmed really gonna do to you if you're bigger than her and you're walking away? It's just some annoying type of shit that's happening. But you're a dude. I'm sorry. He was part of the problem. And I'm not saying men deserve to, have any type of issues with women, but I'm sorry, we're men. We handle things differently, and that's a beauty thing. That's a beautiful part of men. We ain't got to deal with a certain shit that women have to deal with. Sorry, he was part of the problem.
Yeah, I would say that he's definitely at fault in it, and you can tell why, because look at the tone and the voice in which he responding to that type of shit. In, you know what that told me? That's not new. It's not a new occurrence. She's done that in public before. She does it all the time behind the house. She's at the house. Like, that is a normal thing. Her getting aggressive, putting her hands on him, talking to him, disrespecting him, mushing him, all type of shit, stopping him from walking away, all of that. And that's what I mean. As men, that shit has to stop early. You have to walk early, because if you don't, you are enabling that. It's only gonna get worse. Like, a woman is gonna only get more emboldened to do that type of thing. Because as you make mistakes, it's just going to accumulate. I got away with mushing him last time. This time I'm going to slap him. Okay, I got away with slapping him last time. This time I'm going to punch him. I got away with that this time. This time I'm going to pull out a knife. Like it's just going to keep escalating. It's not like an abusive woman is not something that can be rehabilitated. That is who she is. And so you as a man, when you're allowing that, you're feeding it. You're enabling it. That's who she is. A conversation is not going to stop her from hitting you. The only thing that will stop her from hitting you, and that may not even stop her in realistic, is you whooping her ass.
I don't
which is going to get you in trouble.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, Trill. That's a fact. I'm talking about in the situation that we saw.
Right.
Again, yeah, walk away. You'll get a brick in the back of your fucking head. Right? This is what I'm saying. For us to sit up there and say, oh, just because she's a woman, you could it's not going to happen like that. She can fuck you up. Why are you walking the fuck away?
So what is the alternative, Ricky?
Ain't one. We just fucked as men.
And that's
Mr. Let Go. We got it bad. No matter what we do.
That's what I'm saying, Shannon. Like what
is the alternative?
See, for me, it's not even the fact that she's a woman. Me rescuing him is not helping him. He needs to grow a pair. So if he got to get his ass whooped a few times by man or woman before he learns to, stand the fuck up, then that's nature, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it moving. You know what I mean? It's his response is the problem for me. Speak up, say it with your chest, defend yourself at the very least. I ain't saying attack her, defend yourself. And do whatever you have to do to keep somebody up off you. That's all.
But see, that right there is the wild part about the onlookers. Is because if you watching that situation, like, and you're not, the longer you don't intervene, like you kind of egging it on to a and the man's hands are tied behind his back. He cannot, move her in any type of aggressive way, or it's gonna be consequences. But you will sit there and let the woman just mush him. Put his hands in her face, push him, stop him, grab him, swing shit at him, and everybody just standing and watching. But the minute he cocked back like he about to, whoa, hey, yo, hold on, chill, man, let's break this up. Whoa, y'all got to relax.
What I'm saying.
And that type of shit right there needs to be done on the opposite end. And you ain't even got to see it. And again, it's from programming, because you see it as, okay, that's a grown man, he don't need help. But you should be intervening not to help him, but still to help her, to prevent this shit from escalating, because eventually every man wasn't raised right. And eventually that shit is going to turn into something else. If he grab her by her head and start dragging her across that concrete, now he's wrong. But she didn't hit him 30 times. But as an onlooker, you sitting there, just like I said, it's people laughing. It's people like, damn, that's crazy. Oh, what? Oh, like egging it on. Like, what's going to happen? This shit is going to only end bad for him. And that's a fucked up position that everybody out there know he's in, but still is not doing anything to quell.
Did y'all see that situation at TSA at the airport? Did y'all see that?
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And this is what I'm saying. If you going to let it rock with him, let it rock with her motherfucking ass, bruh. Let it rock with her. Me, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, when I see domestic shit, whoever, I stay the fuck away from it. Hey, that ain't my shit, bruh. Right? But don't be sitting up here when it looking like her, and you know what I'm saying, y'all want to play some Captain Save-A-Hole shit. No, but fucked up is fucked up. So if you gonna defend her, you should defend him too. You still watching somebody getting their hands put on them and they ain't fighting back. You see they trying to be away from the altercation. They not trying to be in an altercation, but it's her and everybody want to put the fucking cape on. Right? It's him. Y'all laugh and giggle at him and shit. Oh, look at him. He timid as fuck. He dead. That shit. How you know that couldn't been the first coffee date and this bitch wild out? You don't know. Right? Since we want to go to what else scenarios, but it's wrong. Y'all see what I'm saying? All I tell y'all, just be fair, keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? But he should just walk away. He can push her off, right? So she can call the cops, or somebody interpret it the wrong way and he end up locked up for him fucking with her, or he walking away. He could just walk away from the situation, like they just walked into the situation you saw on tape, and she hit him in the back of his head with some shit. Oh, I'm just gonna catch the bat and walk away, and while you walking away, she gonna rock your shit.
So for those that don't know, the situation with the TSA, this is a similar situation where the lady was very aggressive. They were talking to each other, don't know the words that they were saying. And what ends up happening, there's one person that tries to intervene between the man and the woman, right? And so when the person intervenes between the man and the woman swings and connects on the dude. Now this dude is probably like an offensive lineman, right? He's a big dude, right? And so she swings and hits him, and she takes off, right? He swim moves the dude that's trying to hold them, right? He swim move, right? Caught her from behind, tripped her, like a lion to a lamb, so to speak.
Alligator roll too.
Yeah. Got up and swung and clocked her, right? And now all men up. Let me get him, right? It's like, so y'all now trying to intervene when she was the aggressor, and he looks bad because people say, well, he should have walked away. Well, maybe so, but what gives her the right to even hit him?
Yeah, that was a crazy video. I seen that. He actually got at her like he was a defensive lineman.
Yeah. Red, you want to say something before we move on? I don't know if you came off the mic.
No, I mean, I didn't really have any rebuttal or disagreement. I guess, listen, I mean, if any of it, and I think sometimes when it's not your experience, it's easy to judge. Let me just say, any of the men that are victims of domestic violence or whatever, it's not making light of the shit. I just felt like he could have handled himself better in the situation. That's all.
If you guys just tuned in, welcome to King Talk. Make sure you get the likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Shout out to the sponsor, Teach Hanley again. Uncomplicated skincare for men. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. Now it's time to get to the meat. And we know the ladies like the meat. So let's go ahead and get to it. You guys see it on the thumbnail. Women are either assets or liabilities. Had a conversation with Ricky earlier when I was going over this topic, and it had a different type of spin on it. I know you guys may read it this way, but it kind of got us thinking about the women that's in your life in its entirety. Let me go ahead and play this clip.
You take care of that woman for the rest of her life, or what's the situation?
So I say this, bro. I had that mentality at one point. I began to learn shortly after that shit definitely can be a detriment. There comes a time when I have to audit even the mothers of my children and say, like, are you a liability or are you an asset? And if you are a liability, am I going to allow my eagerness to support you override the establishing the legacy for these babies? It comes sometimes where I actually have to tell them no or back away from them because I'm focused on the long term, which is our children. You already had your shot, sis. I can't pour but so much into you, and then that shit start taking away from what I'm supposed to pour into this next generation that we created. So I did try that, bro, but I will say I'm supportive of all of them.
All right, a little bit of context, but women are either assets or liabilities. Feel free to speak on this particular clip or just the subject at hand. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think you're in the wrong. I do. And the reason is because he created the environment for them to have them expectations. If you can't handle what comes with that, don't create that environment. So essentially what he's saying is, it's like, I started off taking care of them, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm supporting everything. I'm putting up, paying all the bills. I'm doing this, I'm doing that for years. We got kids together. I continue to do so. And at some point, it gets to be a bit too much to where I feel like it's taken away from what I'm giving into my kids because I'm so busy focused on pouring into y'all. Well, you created that environment, which is why I always say I don't want a woman who doesn't want to work. That's what I mean by that, right? Because when you have that type of scenario, now your livelihood is tied to me. And again, that's a scenario that I signed up for from day one. So I can't get to day 2000 and be like, you know what, this shit is too much, man. Hey, go figure it out. She got years of not working. She got a big ass void in that resume. So this is skill sets and shit that she didn't get to go reach. So when I leave a picture, what is she left with? She left with kids and to try to go find another nigga to save her. But again, that's a scenario that I created. And I don't believe in creating, especially for the mother of my children, whether we together or not. I got the utmost respect and the utmost love for you. I want you to win and not just be okay. I want you to prosper. I want you to thrive. So that's the type of environment that I'm creating. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not a, not having the money type of thing. I mean, shit, I could pay your bills and your whole family bills. The money is not the issue. It's the mindset that I'm fostering. But he fostered a mindset of absolute dependency. I ain't working. I ain't doing that. My man paying all the bills. My man doing this. He paying for everything in regard to the kids. All I got to do is sit on my ass and take care of these kids. And then somewhere along the line, sitting on her ass became too much for him to handle. Now he's complaining. No, you don't get to complain. Continue to foster the environment that you created. Simple as that.
The bare necessities, gentlemen. Those simple, bare necessities, sir. That's your job as a man. It's exactly what he said. I think he is right. They're a liability, but that's a liability you created. It's a liability you created, right? The reason why she's in this lifestyle is because you sold the lifestyle to her.
Did you hear what I said?
Right? Now, like what Trill said with the mindset, if you establish the mindset that, hey, baby, you know what, you with me, I'm going to take care of these bare stuff, right? But the stuff you want, those Fendi bags, the nice shoes, the big, hey, that's all on you. I'm looking for a wife to raise my children. Right? And I keep trying to tell y'all, the most difficult thing for a woman to do, at least in my personal opinion, is to move backwards in lifestyle. They can't do it. Once you put her in a Beamer, she's never happy with a Pontiac. You put her in a nice house, she's not going back to the hood, bro. So again, this is the standard you set when you was rolling and it was just you, and them diaper bills wasn't coming, and them baby medical bills wasn't coming right, and those private school bills wasn't coming. It was easy. That's your problem, dog. So yes, they can be assets or liabilities, right? But that's a liability you created. You devalued her. I'm off the mic.
What are your thoughts on with that?
Man, it's hard to go after that. I would say that, assets for the simple people is a positive thing and liabilities are a negative thing. And a woman can be both, but not the same woman, right? You want her to always be an asset to you. Because if she is not an asset to you, then it's going to stunt your growth as well as the family's growth. And if she's a liability to you, then she's going to bring down, she's going to bring down the family. And that's why it's important, as we talked about before, in vetting the woman that you're wanting to spend the rest of your life with, right? You want to have an understanding of what her goals are. Do they align with what it is that you're trying to do? And that's how you know if she's an asset or not. And it can't always, in some guys, from what I'm seeing, it's about the sex, right? It's about how good is the sex, right? Well, that can only be, that's only a part of what the relationship should be about anyway. Is she stimulating you mentally? Is she bringing you more businesses? Is she in a space of opportunity that will bring your family wealth? So it's like, and sometimes the asset is just being your piece, right? Does she run your bath water? Does she cook dinner? I mean, does she plan a date? I mean, there's so many different ways to be an asset to a man that it's unfortunate that some women look at being a wife as a liability. And I don't know necessarily, I can't speak to why, but overall, I would say a great woman is an asset. And a terrible one is a liability. And for the man that decides at the end of the journey that what he created is a woman that is not doing something that he wanted to do in the first place, was definitely on him, because he sets the standard.
That's why it's so important for us to make sure we vet women before we put babies in them and start a family with them, because the liability starts when you meet the woman, not when you have the baby with the woman, not when you have the argument with the woman, is when you meet the woman, because we compartmentalize. We put a woman in a particular spot when we meet her, but sometimes we take her out of that spot because we like her, or because the sex is good, because of this and that. And next thing you know, we don't took her out of the compartment or the role that she was supposed to be in because we like her. And now we don't ignored all the red flags. And now we don't got with her, had a baby with her. And now this woman is officially a liability. But we have to make sure we vet women even before we even get close to them. Because one woman can literally ruin your entire life. But most of us don't even sit back and just think, is this woman an asset or a liability? No, we just think she got a fat ass or something like that and she cute. But is she an asset or a liability? And if she is an asset, how is she an asset? Like, we got to go down a rabbit hole of who this woman is and who this woman represents to us. Sometimes the woman can just represent our mother or something, or some type of feeling that we got when we was younger or whatever. Who is this woman and what does she represent? Is she actually what we want or are looking for, or is she just something temporary? Okay, if she's temporary, treat her like that. And don't take her out of that temporary compartment. We tend to do that. Have babies with them, and next thing you know, she's acting up and doing this and doing that, and now she's a liability, and you're trying to control her. Like the first video, she's acting a fool. We take women out of the compartments that we actually put them in simply because we like them or want them, and now she's a liability for the rest of our lives and the rest of our kids' lives. Because now that's the mother of your kid. Your kid is suffering because of you putting a kid in her.
Yeah, I think, man, Humble Dad brought up a great question when he asked, why do so many women see the job of a wife as like losing? And I think the reason being is because a lot of women look around and don't see successful marriages. I can use my own situation as an example. I know way more people that are divorced than who haven't been. Right. So in these scenarios, let's use marriage, right? If you ask a lot of people to define like the ideal marriage, whatever the case may be, it would be like the man making all this money, the woman, staying at home, raising the kids, being a wife, blah, 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 blah. Right. But in the process of that, just like I just said, she's not working. She's not developing skills. She's not gaining certs. She's not getting degrees. Right. So her livelihood is tied to that man. So that when they hear, oh, you be a wife, that's what they think about. My livelihood has to be tied to this man. And not only that, but when I look outside or when I look at my family, I see more divorces than happy marriages. So am I willing to sacrifice my ability to prosper or my ability to elevate and be able to take care of myself in not just a comfortable fashion, but an exemplary fashion? Am I willing to sacrifice that to gamble on a losing game? So that's why they see being a wife as a losing job, because that's what you're doing. Now, see, as a man in that scenario, don't get me wrong, like, man, we have our risks, it's mainly money, right? Kids, things of that nature. But as a man is going to be all right, because in this quote unquote ideal scenario that I just gave, right, he's still working the whole time. He's still elevating his portfolio the whole time. He's still going to work every time. He's still stacking up his income. So whether this situation ends or not, and I got to pay alimony, child support, whatever the case may be, I'm still going to be good. I don't have no lapse in my resume. This whole time I done been chasing my purpose, gaining certifications, elevating at the job, promotion, starting side businesses, this, that, and third. So yeah, sure, giving up my money is going to hurt, sure. But I'm going to be good. I'm going to get married again and we're going to keep this shit rolling. Because my money, I'm just going to go make more money. And I have the ability and the credentials to do it. But as a woman, not so much. And then not only that, my market value in the dating game doesn't decrease because of the divorce. Let's just be honest here. If the divorce happens, the wife is going to pretty much get primary custody of the kids. That's just a fact. I mean, I can't remember what the percentage is. It's like 80 something or something, 90 something, something like that. Extremely high, right? So I say that to say, once she gets a divorce, there's a lapse in her resume in terms of earning income for herself. And she takes a market value drop because men don't want women with kids, typically. So so again, to answer this question, when a woman is standing on the outside of this looking into it, it's like I have way more to lose in that situation than I have to gain. So that's why they see it as a losing game. I just wanted to say that. But y'all go ahead.
Shannon, Rio.
I don't know if I would. I think men have a lot more to lose. Everything that a woman has to lose, a man has to lose plus on that last part, Trill. But the thing is, I watched the video, and so his question was, do you take care of women for the rest of it? So maybe this is just I cannot imagine a situation where I don't try to put my woman and my children in a position to win for the rest of their life. As the agent of due process, the executor of Rawls Enterprises, I cannot imagine that anybody that's under my covering be excluded from being put in a position to win for the rest of their life. And what the thing that he put in there, he was like, yeah, I had the guy that responded was like, I had that mentality, but then I told her, you had your chance. I got to now put into these babies, into the next generation that we created, and so on and so forth. And I'm thinking to myself, when I'm hearing that, I'm thinking, why can't you do all of it? Why must you say, well, you know what? I'm sorry, you too old. I got to pay attention to the kids. As a man, claiming to be head of the household, claiming to want all this submission and all these things from your woman, and the kids is going to grow and start their own. And you would imagine that the woman is going to be the one that's going to be hanging out with you after 18 years from now. 18 years is just a snap in a finger in your lifetime, especially if you stay healthy and live long. That's just a snap. The kid's gonna grow up and be gone and be done. And then you're gonna be what? Saying, oh, baby, come on back. I want to pour back into you again. You gonna want to, you ain't gonna want to go to, you're not gonna want to vacate and go sip drinks with umbrellas and go pull slot machine handles with your kids in your golden years. You're gonna want to do that with your woman. So why would you exclude her from your concentration on making sure everybody is good? Do you take care of your woman for the rest of her life? Yes, to the point where whether you're here or not, she should be good. Your kid, this kind of goes back to the kid conversation. Did you set things up so your children can win? Did you set things up so your woman can win with you here or you gone? So for me, I just can't see how somebody that's supposed to be up under my roof, my covering, is not getting covered for the rest of their life. That's just me. Now, are women assets or liabilities? Hell yeah, they can be one or the other. That I said all the time, a man's success is largely dependent on the woman he chooses. His success or failure is largely dependent on the woman that he chooses. Y'all hear me say it on this show all the time. You can make $1 million by yourself. You can make $3 million with a good woman. But if you pick the wrong chick, this goes to Mr. Let Go. If you pick the wrong one, God, brothers, if you pick the wrong one because she got some good pussy, or she pretty, or she got a fat ass, and that just got you blinded, and you pick the wrong brain. You might pick the right ass and the wrong brain. And if you pick the wrong brain, you can't wait. I saw an ad a long time ago or something. It was this beautiful woman. It was in the 80s. Now people made like reference to it later on, but it was an ad. This was actually an advertisement, and it was this beautiful woman. She was fine. And then so in the ad it says somewhere some man can't stand her ass or some shit like that. I forget what it said exactly, but it was an average. Like people make a joke of it in memes, but it was actually an advertisement, like in Sports Illustrated in 1988, and it was like somewhere some man can't wait. She's getting on some guy's nerve, and this woman was bad, like perfect everywhere and shit. So that physicality is nice. The pussy's good. She gets good head and all of that kind of stuff. But if the mentality ain't there, she's gonna drive you fucking crazy, bro. Trust me when I tell you. Twice married, twice divorced. Trust me when I tell you. They'll drive you crazy. So if you get one that's gonna drive you crazy, that is a liability. And not only will you not make the million that you would have made by yourself, now you're only making you're only making 500,000. You're only making 100 grand because you got her on it. You got the wrong woman will drive you to be broke.
But
you'll make $1 million by yourself, but the right woman you'll make 3. So it's all about the proper selection, man.
I want to jump deeper into the video though, as far as the liability portion, right? If you think of it in its total entirety, its totality, right, Trill? So he chose the woman to have a baby with, right, while establishing a certain lifestyle, right? And this is what I mean, that this woman was a liability from the beginning, because she should have been willing, if she was really for you and the family, to quell some of those requests to make both happen. If she really about the family, right? Now, I'm not talking about the part where Trill say if he just got her sitting on her ass and she not doing nothing, that's totally his fault, right? But I'm saying, guys, is that if she was really about family, if she was really about making it happen with both of y'all, right, and the kids, there would be some concessions made, right? So I think he picked a liability from the jump. Not only did he pick a liability, he enhanced it for himself. He made her a greater liability by putting the baby in, to his own detriment. Because she really wasn't about you, and she really wasn't about you and what you was looking to accomplish either way. Either way. Or Trill, he sold her a lie from the beginning. Either way, it's all on him, guys. Either way, it's all on him. Right? This is why I always say, look, when it comes to relationship portion of it, men, it's all your fault. Everything that comes from the moment you say with that woman, hey, I want you to be my wife. I want you to be my girl. I want you to bear my children. Everything from that point is on your shoulders. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Y'all really need to start taking into great account and being serious about who y'all choose to lay down with and who y'all choose to have babies with. And who y'all choose to bring into y'all home. Shout out to Trill. Make sure y'all check out Crew Season. The pod was crazy today. You know what I'm saying? Stop moving into these women's houses, bro. What's wrong with y'all, man? Stop doing that, bro. Get y'all shit together.
Hey, another angle of it I was thinking about while you was talking is because this happens with a lot of women, right? A lot of women will get into a relationship. You know, they always aspire for one, but may not necessarily know what the hell they're doing when they get in it. She may want to be there for you, but women are selfish by programming, right? So if in his scenario, if he getting with this girl and he's like, I don't want you doing nothing. I want you sitting here raising these kids. Don't worry about none of that. Big Daddy take care of all that for you. Don't even worry about it. In essence, he's grooming her because she doesn't necessarily know what sacrifices or when to sacrifice, like a woman who's seasoned in that wood. You know what I'm saying? So just example, like, you know, a lot of people I know, You know what I'm saying? Just women.
You say he's
just women
grooming her or ruining her?
Grooming her to be helpless. So again, and not only that, but to be selfish. He's enabling the selfish programming that she got. And that's why what Ricky is saying is so important. As a man, you got to set the standard for how this shit is gonna run. Because if you come in there trying to do what you think is just gonna appease her, she's gonna become used to that, and she's gonna expect that. It's just like dating, right? If I meet a woman, get a number, and I take her to a 5-star restaurant the first 3 times we go out, you can't then say, oh, you know what, man, we gonna get Chili's today. Most women not going for that. You didn't set a standard to where oh shit, every time we go out to eat, this is what it is. And now you want to switch it up, and then you expect her not to feel away or to be disappointed, or not to be disappointed. No. You set the standard, so you got to be careful with the standard that you set. And in his scenario, it sounds to me like he came in there with that cape on his back and didn't teach her, hey, what Ricky is saying, hey, baby, there's certain sacrifices that may got to be made, baby. I'm hustling, or I'm whatever, because he look like a street nigga. So hey, baby, I'm hustling. You know what I'm saying? It's ups and downs in this shit. So I need you to ride with me. Sometimes you can chill. Sometimes we can go get Fendi. Sometimes we can't shop. We need about 6 months for me to climb back up and get back right or whatever. But you teaching her how to hustle. You teaching her the ebbs and the flows. You teaching her, you know what I'm saying, when to step up or when to pitch in or when to sacrifice. But if you just come in there and just, hey, baby, you got whatever you want, baby. It's all yours. And then you do that for years and have a kid with her, which it sounds like, I think he was talking about 2-3 women he got kids with, that he does them all the same way. You are fostering helpless adults. Like, you are programming, you are creating that. So in that aspect, because you created it, you cannot then complain 10 years later because it's inconvenient for you now. And she don't understand those sacrifices and shit that Ricky is talking about, because you never taught her that. You never set that standard that shit may happen. So, again, fellas, set a standard that you can maintain. Fuck what's gonna appease them in the situation. Fuck what sounds good. What can you maintain? Because that's what she's gonna expect.
Yeah, I think that's very important for men to be vocal in the beginning, to set whatever standards they want. And even if you learn along the way, sometimes things shift, and you got to be able to communicate that, because she don't know, she can't read your mind. But a lot of men have these expectations for women without communicating, and so they get mad at them. But in all reality, it points back to you, because that's the foundation that you set. One of the things that me and my cousin, my guys, talk about is spending so much time with the woman, right? And she doesn't allow you to leave the house, because that's how it started off. It started off where you was all up under her. So anytime if you try to defer from that, then it's going to seem weird. It's going to seem strange, because that's how you led. So I think it's important for men just to be vocal in the beginning as far as what it is that they want, because if you got the right type of woman, she's going to understand it, because you're setting that foundation. It's something special about a man that's able to speak on what it is that he wants. All right, go ahead.
The wild part, I think it go back to that kid conversation that y'all had earlier. A lot of parents do that. Again, sit there, watch their kid, get their kids a tablet, let them do whatever they want to do, let them do whatever for years and years and years and years. And then they get to a certain age, you know what? All right, now we're gonna implement some discipline. Now, this is off limits, that's off limits, that's off limits. And then you wonder why the kid out there acting a goddamn fool and disrespecting you or looking at you like you crazy. Well, you done let 12, 13 years of shit just slide. No consequences, no penalties, no ass whoopings, no nothing. And then at 14, you want to drop the hammer. No, it don't work like that. You got to set that standard early.
I told y'all that Trill's daughter is gonna be good. Didn't I tell y'all that?
Man, look.
I told y'all that. Didn't I tell y'all that Trill's daughter is gonna be good?
Yeah, but that's honest, bro. I see it all the time, man. Especially with girls that are getting older now, 15, 16-year-old girls. When girls get to that age, that's when the bullshit starts. You know what I'm saying? But again, if you done set a solid foundation, the likelihood of that lessens tremendously. But if you just let her get away with it, that's my princess. You always right. Hell no, don't talk to my baby. Don't touch my baby. Hell, whoa. Then she get to 16 and now you trying to implement some shit. She looking at you like, Nah, but it's the same for women. Stop letting these women run over y'all, bro. Like it, and the conversation may be uncomfortable. She may give you cold shoulder. She may not give you the sex for a while. But if you implement, if you continue to do it, she's gonna eventually fall in like, hey, that's just who he is. Going back to what JR talking about. Stay going out with your boys. Don't let her rob that from you. You need your me time. You do. Trust me. I'm living it. I'm speaking from experience. You need your me time. Don't let her guilt trip you into canceling with the boys every week. When before that relationship, you was going out, that was your piece. Y'all go get drinks, y'all go fish, y'all go hoop, y'all go do whatever, flag football, whatever. Maintain that within the relationship. And when you come into the relationship, let her know, hey, baby, Saturdays is my, you know what I'm saying, is my day with the boys. That's just what it is. Or Sundays, my day with the boys. We go do this, we go fish, we go hoop, whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes certain things may come up on Sundays. You may have to move it around. Hey, fellas, we can go on Friday instead of Sunday. I got to go take care of something with the family. But it needs to, that day to you needs to stay there. I don't give a damn how mad, crying, uncomfortable, sad, pouting, none of that bullshit matters. Maintain that. And then eventually it's going to become custom, and she just going to learn to accept it. But if you bend early, you can't then come in and try to set new precedent. It ain't going to work.
And I kind of bring it back to the conversation we had before on King Talk is do women test you? Like your own woman, she'll test you. You'd be surprised how a woman will respect you for you standing on your ground. You know, for you standing up to her in a certain way. You know, it's kind of weird, right? But like psychologically, it hits different or something like that when she know that she can't run over you, or she just can't just feed you some bullshit and you fold to it. So you just got to stand your ground, man. There ain't nothing wrong with it. You're not doing anything wrong by telling her this is what I want to do, or this is what I like. That's just you just being a man. And so she going to have to accept it. If it's not nothing that's just out of the ordinary, if you got common sense, what you saying is not anything that's going to harm her. It's just what you like and what you expect. And if she rock with you the long way, then that's something she going to compromise on.
And especially in those, boy, when she get emotional, I keep trying to tell y'all, get cold with it. Get cold with it. Right? What you talking about? You crying so? This is what it is. Get cold with it. I'm telling y'all, bro. It'll make, like, y'all, I don't know. I just be talking. Whatever, bro.
No, it's all good. I think one of the key takeaways, and our Trier brought this stuff up too, as far as being intentional and having these kids. I mean, I'm guilty of it in the Black community, if we want to say there's a Black community, right? But amongst the people that I know, we don't typically plan to have our kids. And I think we need to get to a place where we set a solid foundation on the beginning so that we can kind of change. It always starts within the home. That's what I always say. You know, if you start making the changes, start there, and then you can work on the world. I think it'll work itself out once you start within your own home, because that's what you can control. You can try to make a difference, but you're only one man when you go out there. It may hit a little bit, but it ain't gonna hit like in your house.
Look what we fighting against, though, JR. Like, look at Kiki. What's her name? The actress.
Kiki Palmer. Yep.
Kiki Palmer. Like, look at what we're fighting against, man.
Yep.
We're fighting against. Like, we could say, you know, we need to have intentional nuclear families. We need to make sure that our children are planned. We need Planned Parenthood, like literally, you know, based on the two words Planned Parenthood. We don't need no more unplanned parent. And then we turn around and then we got people like Kiki saying, hey, y'all, I'm pregnant and I ain't got no husband. And this is what, and look at me. And ladies, you can do this too.
You can do this too.
Get a guy that you're gonna break up with in a year, and you'll be all right. And it's like, damn. So it's almost like everything that we want is being unraveled by motherfuckers.
These damn women.
It ain't just
like, it's just fighting against that. Like, it's like, damn,
they're just
like,
skipping around, together, making little fatherless babies, like little female Peter Pans, just skipping, bling, bling. And the thing, and what's sad is almost a real thing because they are women, so they can have a baby. So it's like They're just spitting out a little bit, bling, bling, just dropping little babies, just dancing around like little this shit is fucking crazy. Little fairies just dropping around little father's babies everywhere.
The women are not the problem. I know y'all gonna hate me for saying this. The women are not the problem. They work through the women because they know y'all men are suckers.
What?
They work through the women because they know y'all weak for them. They work through the women because they know y'all be simping out here talking about y'all big balling, but y'all really be tricking on the back end. All in the DM and sending them cash apps and them Zelles. But y'all be talking it good in the streets. You be doing this and that, but y'all the first ones, once y'all see that fat ass and that $10 dress on Instagram be in them DMs. Hey, how you doing, Miss Lady? What's good with you? Whereas if y'all move like men, who would give you why would you give a fuck what woman is doing if she can't convince you to be something you not? Y'all complain about the hoes y'all want. I say it. That's the reason y'all complain about them. Oh, she tricked me. Yep, guess what? She tricked you, nigga. You got tricked.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a situation where, like, y'all right, we are fighting against a lot, man. But I think, you know, in situations like that, that's where you got to create your own cool table. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough people willing to create their own cool table. Just like when Kiki did that, like that. Like I'd said something about it on Twitter, and of course it's like, oh, I can't believe that. So like as a man, you can't even speak out against that, and they're gonna try to flame you up and roast you or whatever. But you know, at the end of the day, all we can do is just not give it energy at all. Keep on building what it is that we build, and just like we say on these platforms all the time, man. It started your crib. Starting your crib, like be that walking example, like be a stand-up guy, be a family man, be a, you know what I'm saying, having kids under the right circumstances, all of that. And then eventually, if enough cool people was doing it, that's going to become the new norm. Now, we may not live to see that transition, probably not, but we could be the first ones to kind of set that standard, bro. Like I ain't tripping on what everybody else is doing. I'm focused on my crib, my household, and focused on my game and how they moving. And they all move similar. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take us creating a new cool table. Because right now the cool table is just dysfunctional, reckless, do what you want to do, have these babies, break up, get pregnant, break up with the man 2 months in, or the fellas you out here hitting chicks raw that shouldn't even be in the same room with you, shouldn't even be in your telephone. But it's just reckless, and hey, it's gonna be all right on the back end. Nobody living for tomorrow. Everybody living for the day. You know what I'm saying? And that right there is the difference between our culture and them other cultures, man. Like they be planning for it. I got a coworker who Indian, and he said he planned to have 3 kids by the time he was 24. He had 3 kids by the time he was 24, and he set himself up for it. I'm gonna go to school, get this degree, get this job, making this amount, boom, boom, boom. So when it's time for me to have my kids, I can just boom, boom, pop them out back to back to back. They are 1 year apart, all 3 of them, planned in order. But he set himself up for that. Now again, in our culture, that may not be popular to do, but our culture is flawed, clearly. So it's gonna take us people who not afraid. That's what I mean by creating a new cool table. People who not afraid to step outside of that norm and do what it is that you want to do. And eventually enough motherfuckers gonna peek to the left and look at that table and like, damn, them motherfuckers is over there prospering over there. Maybe I need to adjust my behavior to more what they doing. Now, again, like I said, we may not live to see it, but we got to stand firm in being, you know, the mavericks to make that change and get shit back where it need to be. But if we just keep on indulging and engaging and fucking with a lot of these women that we know as men that we shouldn't be fucking with, then we just gonna add to the problem. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, like a snowball roller downhill.
Yeah, that kind of brings
plant a tree of plant the seed for a tree of which you will not be able to sit under.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish off with this. That kind of brings me to that point too, is that when you got kids, technically it's all about the kids, it ain't about you no more. And I think that we try to get it in, we try to take our trips, we try to still try to live our life. We either still try to live the things that we never had a chance to experience, but that really should have been done before the kids were here. But now that the kids are here, now it's all about them and if you spend more time focusing on the kids than having fun and kicking it and living it up and getting sex and all this stuff like that, then that's what's going to create better outcomes. So that takes it back to what we always say: it starts within the house. Start there, and then we can talk about a community, because that is part of the community. And like Trill say, we're not going to be able to experience and see a lot of this change. A lot of things that's happening right now, the impact that we're making or the potential of making, we're not going to see that. And then I know it's a sad reality, but that's just life. You can wake up and not be here. One of the questions I ask my son is that I may not wake up. And one of the questions that I ask myself is, are you in position to be able to take care of these women? Like, are you in position to be able to carry my legacy? And if you can't answer that question, or if he's stumbling, then I got work to do. So I'm gonna keep on working it. And I know I brought my son up. I never give up on him. I know we talk shit and be like, we got to get his ass up out of here. And that's why I enjoy these conversations like this, because you guys got me thinking. It's all about balance. Everything is always situational. There's no right or correct answer, just like what makes sense for your situation. You analyze it and you put everything together, and which side you want to be on. Do you want to be on the side where if you let him go, he'll fuck up? Somebody on the panel said tonight that your child. So if you put your child out there and he has a potential of fucking up, you're probably not going to put him out. If you know your child and you put him out and it's going to make him stronger, then you'll put him out. So everything is always situational. We just here giving our perspectives. Make sense.
That's why I couldn't answer that question, JR. That's why I know Lego was trolling me, and I know you guys had just answer the question, Shan. Answer the question. It's tough for me to answer it because part of me want to say, nah, if you're going to just say fuck you, dad, and then of course you got to go. But then another part of me is saying, am I letting go of my children? Because what you said just now, JR, if you have children, at that point, it's not about you, it's about the kids. At what point do you say it's not about the kids no more? And to me, it's not until your kids are winning. And so you don't ever give up, even when they say, fuck you, dad, because that means your kids. And that's why it was tough for me to just say, man, they got to go. Even though that would be the reality, it was tough for me to say it because in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm literally saying, I'm giving up on my children. I got kids that's telling me, fuck you. I got to figure out why I got a kid that's telling me, fuck me. So it's tough to give up that. I get it. I don't want to rehash that. I just wanted to say, I like what you're saying, JR, because you say when you have children, you switch and you got to say it's about the children. And then you said you started thinking about the conversation too.
I want to emphasize this real quick before Mr. Let go is that it's not that you're giving up, it's that you're handling it. Because at that point, if you wasn't a great father, a great mother, in the younger years, it's too late for that. So now you have to assess the situation a little bit differently, and you got to figure out how you're going to maneuver. Because once that your daughter or your son is who they are, that's a tough job to do. I mean, you could take them to therapist and it still ain't gonna work. But as a parent, you don't want to give up. You can't give up. I've been in a situation where I wanted to give up, but I couldn't give up because I'm the parent. So you letting them go out there and flat is not necessarily giving up. It's almost like testing. That's how I do. You don't know if it's gonna work or not. Somebody can come sit here and give you the blueprint, what worked for them. It don't necessarily mean it's gonna work for you. But you can test it out. And if it don't work, guess what? You can bring her back in the house. Like, come on back home. But at least you seen if it was going to make a difference or not. That's the beauty about life, is that we can test these things out. We have the freedom to do what we want to do. Everybody's different. Nobody is alike. We sit on these panels, we get all this information, all this game, and you can take it home and it may not work. So now you got to test something else and see if that works. You might have to adjust a little bit. You might have to bend a little bit, but that's just humans. That's just that's the way of life. That's how life operates. I can sit up there and you can tell me what all this work and you got a promotion, I go do the same shit. And guess what? I didn't get a promotion. So what I'm gonna do? I still want that promotion. So I'm gonna try to figure out what's gonna work for me a little bit.
And that's what I was gonna say to Shan. Like, putting your kid out isn't giving up on your kid, is a part of the process, because change has to happen, period. And I started off earlier when the show first started. I said the main way males learn is through losing something, whether it's their girl, whether it's their freedom, whether it's almost their life. You gotta put your children in a position where there's a feeling or a fear of loss. That's how we grow. Like, you go lift weights. If you lift the same weight all the time, you're not going to grow. At some point, you got to get up under that bar and lift some weight that you are afraid of lifting if you're going to grow. This is how men operate. We got to put more weight on the bar, and we can't be afraid to put too much weight on the bar. But guess what? If they can't lift it, we're there to help them. So it's not about giving up on your son. Well, get out and never talk to me again. No, get out, go figure your life out. You got my number. If it gets too crazy, too hard, you can call me. But I just need you to know something has to happen. You know, don't go get strung out on drugs. Don't do nothing crazy, but go explore the world. I, as a kid, started off.
How do you stop them from not getting strung out and getting on drugs?
That's
the thing about it. Like if they can't lift that weight, I don't want to kick them out the gym. I just want to change the workout plan.
I get you. Think about this. I always let my kids do whatever they want to do when it came to go outside. You know, you got girls, you're like, don't go out. Somebody might grab you, right? I never did that. I let my kids go outside, play, do whatever they wanted to do. One time, my oldest daughter wanted to go to a house party, right? And my ex-wife was like, she ain't going to no house party. This might happen. I said, let me tell you something. I raised these girls. Let her ass go. I train her on how to protect her drink if she wants to drink, how to do this, how to do that, what to do in the case of emergency. Let that girl go out. And she literally, 5 years later, she ended up telling me that they was drugging people at the damn party. She didn't have any drinks because of what I told her what to do and what not to do. And she started seeing everybody in there loopy. And guess what? Her friend got the hell up out of there because she was able to see everybody become loopy all at the same time. And they got up out of there. I let her go and she was able to learn, because a lot of times if you keep your child in the house, they aren't going to believe the things that you warn them about. Oh, it's a cold world. Yeah, whatever. Men are this, or women are this, or this can happen. Yeah, whatever. They need to be able to see it in their own eyes to be like, oh, shit. And then let them run back home. I've been out just doing whatever I want to do since I was like 7, 8, 9. I was just out the house, get on my bike. We used to ride our bikes so far, well, we would literally get lost and not know how to get home. And we would literally have to, you know, everybody got a neighborhood, Carver Homes, whatever. We would literally have to stop at a gas station. Excuse me, how to get back to Carver Homes? And we didn't know what the hell we were. Kids. My mom just let me go. And one last thing, because this is a psychological thing. The farther you let your children explore when they're little, the more they'll understand that you trust them. It's a trust thing. And if you are afraid to let your child just go out there and figure their own shit out, you're subconsciously telling your child that you don't trust them.
All right. Got super chats, Ricky.
Arnisha Cage, $5. Mr. Rawls, I agree 100%. Stay an active parent. I've subscribed to your channels as well. Aw. Doug Will, what's good? He said, as a man, if your woman ever lays a violent hand on you, get rid of her immediately. It doesn't matter if y'all been dating a few weeks or married for decades. Dump her. Me University, put water in the basement, knock at the door. Bow. What you know about that, bro? Shelter Ward. Moms told me as an adolescent, if a heifer put hands on you, make sure she never try you again or I'm at your head. Adonis 1909. Look how they are treating Judge Joe Brown. We are fighting dysfunction stuck on the feel-good Kool-Aid. Facts, bro. Shelton Ward again. Not the $10 dress, big bro. Real spit. Yeah, man. Shine. Me University won't know what you raised till they hit like 27. You muted.
Appreciate that. Definitely want to say thank you for all the super chats and donations that you guys have given today. I also want to say make sure you guys hit the like button if you like the stream. If you didn't, then hit the dislike button. That's cool too. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like what you're seeing. Make sure you guys follow these guys on the individual platforms. We got Ricky Williams Boxing. Just put that in the search and it should pop up. Also, catch Ricky here on Fridays as well. Did you hear what I said? Trill AC is part of Crew Season. Make sure you guys show some love and support over there. Just put in Crew Season in the search. Mr. Let Go. He's all over the place. I know he's a known superstar. He should have a star on the sidewalk in Hollywood. Yeah, Mr. Let Go will be there soon. So make sure you guys watch out for that and follow him. And Shannon Rawls, just put that in the search and he'll pop right up too. I appreciate you gentlemen for blessing the platform with you guys' perspectives as usual. And I just want to say thank you for everybody that's out there watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit me up. Let me know what you guys want to hear. If you guys got any topics, reach out. The email is on the IG, as well as on the YouTube page. And yeah, we out of here. That's it, y'all. Appreciate y'all.